Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Devyo, Sajjano, Mitro, welcome back. Let's go ahead. We are still doing a chapter called Income from Salary. Second head of income in the classroom, but in the income tax law, it is the first head of income. Charging section 15. Two major parts of the chapter, that is allowances and perquisites. Yes, we do have a good news that we have completed the first part, that is allowances. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the next part, that is perquisites. Perquisites, popularly known as the perks of working for any organization. You say, okay, if I do this, these are the perks of being my student. वैसे anything special which you would like to mention, मतलब the perks of being my student? Nothing till now as yet. क्या बोलिए? Now you have to say it. तो खिलाओ ना then. I told her to make plans. She did not make the plan. मैं क्या कहूँ? हैं? कौन सा एग्जाम? सीए फाइनल? Which exam? इंटर का एग्जाम. ठीक है, एवरी ऑफर इज फॉर लिमिटेड टाइम, मतलब वो देन बाय दैट टाइम अगर विड्रॉ कर दिया तो दैट विल बी योर लॉस. आई लाइक द कॉन्फिडेंस. हाँ, एनी अदर पर्क? नहीं, दैट पर्क वाज नॉट फॉर बीइंग माय स्टूडेंट, फॉर आंसरिंग द क्वेश्चन, ब्रो. यू डिडंट गेट द गेम देन. एनीबॉडी वुड हैव आंसर्ड द क्वेश्चन वुड हैव बीन एलिजिबल. नो, तुम समझा नहीं? हाँ, नो प्रॉब्लम. The perk of being my student, like, you get to see such an attractive face, such 6 days a week, you get to listen to such a nice voice 6 days per week. The extra benefit of being in any assignment is called perquisite. Now if we associate it with salary, you are going to get your salary if you are working for an organization, but over and above salary, your organization will give you some benefits. This time the benefits will be non-monetary. Boss is not going to give you money, because if the boss gives you money, we call it allowances. If the boss gives you, take this money, pay rent, then that will be called house rent allowance. But if the boss gives you house keys, that is a perquisite. Correct? Is that an extra benefit? First common sense that you have to use is, with this I am going to have some savings, some profit. Sir, how? If boss does not give this, then I will have to pay the rent of this house. But am I saving this rent? Why am I saving? Because boss is giving. That saving is my profit. That profit is going to be my taxable income. Any savings that you do is savings of expense, is like an income you have earned, is a profit that you will have to pay tax on. Do you understand? So we will have to value what is that. In simple language, if I will have to pay this rent from my pocket, how much I will have to pay? That amount is my saving, and that amount I will have to pay tax on. This is only an example. And house is only an example. Supposingly car. Again, boss will bring the car. So if I bring the car with my own money, with my own pocket, how much I will have to pay? Any facility in kind given by the employer. Supposingly boss has taken admission of my children in some school. So if I take that admission, how much I will have to pay? Whatever boss is paying, I am saving. If you get this statement in your brain, perquisite majorly will get done. At least as far as the logic is concerned. Whatever boss is paying is my saving. Otherwise, I will have to pay. That is your perquisite. If you have to learn the general rule of valuation of any perquisite, are we supposed to do valuation of taxable perquisite? The whole idea behind this is, whatever kind of facility boss is giving me, whether house or car or admission of my children in school or installation of ACs or fans in my house, whatever boss is giving me, you will have to spend on it. If the boss is giving me a house, he will have to pay that rent. If the boss is installing a fan or an AC in my house, he will have to pay that amount, whether the purchase price or the rent of that TV, fridge, AC, washing machine, sofa, dining table that he has given me. All these are kind benefits. No. The simple valuation is employer going to make payment to a third party? Like for example, house ka owner, he will pay rent. then this third party will give me that benefit. No. Think about the whole idea of perquisite. I wanted this benefit from the owner of this. For example, house or car or sofa or dining table, anything owned by this person. This person is giving it to me, but obviously we have to pay this guy. I would have normally paid this guy for the house, for the sofa, for the dining table, but I don't have to pay. Why, sir? Because my employer has made payment. So if my employer has made this payment, have I saved this payment? In the absence of this employer, I will have to pay this. So this payment which the employer is making to the third party is my taxable. What is my taxable perquisite? Amount paid by employer to third party. Is that my saving? Do you understand? Boss can pay rent of the house, purchase price of the sofa, dining table, etc. Is what I have saved. Everyone agrees? But we have to complete this. Logic we have understood, but law has to be clear. I know you all have understood meaning of perquisite. I know you all have also understood general rule of valuation. In simple language, whatever boss pays to the third party is my saving. That is what I have to pay tax on. You correct, na? But there is a slight twist here. This has to be paid for benefit of employee, then and only then it is perquisite. If this does not happen, this is the litmus test, the main condition of calling something perquisite. With this payment to the third party, the benefit should come to the employee in personal capacity. In case this benefit is bringing, in case this payment is bringing benefit to the organization, to the employer, it cannot be called benefit. Supposingly, boss is installing a sofa in the office reception. As an employee, I will sit. No, with that logic, you will say, sir, you are sitting on this chair. This is your perquisite. This is not my perquisite. This chair was not specially installed for me. This AC, this projector was not specially installed for me. Anything which is done specially for me, with which I will get benefit, not the organization, is a perquisite. This chair is not for me. Do you understand? This chair is for the classroom. Now you will say, sir, you are consuming the air of the AC installed. Am I? But the AC was not installed for me. देख के she's checking कि किधर से air is coming, how you are consuming. She was actually checking the air flow. No, you understand that even if you can't measure how much out of the total air every individual person here has consumed. Point ये है that the AC was not installed for me. If this AC was installed in my house, then that is a personal benefit. That can be perquisite. How to value? Whatever boss must have paid, that is my perquisite. But if the AC is installed in classroom, if there is a chair in the classroom, if there is a sofa, dining table in the office, a lot of corporate offices have a dining hall. That is not benefit of the employee. That cannot be your taxable perquisite. A taxable perquisite is something where, listen to this, boss will incur an expenditure towards a third party. See, I can never get a kind benefit without expense of boss. Boss will have to pay something to someone. Then only that someone will give me that sofa, dining table or house or AC. Boss is paying to a third party and I am utilizing the benefit, that is perquisite. Expense of the employer, benefit of the employee is perquisite. Expense of the employer and benefit of the employee is going to be valuation of taxable perquisite. In this rule, you can cover almost 70-80% perquisites. Anything, supposedly boss purchases a t-shirt for you. Boss will pay to the shopkeeper. You will wear the t-shirt. Expense of the boss and benefit of the employee. Boss installs a sofa in his office reception. Cost of the sofa will be perquisite. No, why? Reception. शादी करने को office reception. Correct है? So it is not your perquisite. But if the sofa was installed in your house, so payment by the boss is the value of your perquisite. You understand? Boss purchases your specs so that you get clear vision. That is your perquisite, the expenditure incurred. But supposingly, boss has purchased a camera lens for his classroom, and that is not my perquisite. Boss will pay to the third party and third party will give me the benefit that is perquisite. And the amount paid will be my saving, and that is only the value of taxable perquisite. This is the general rule. You can use this rule to value any perquisite, with a small twist here, with a small twist. You got to understand. Okay, your boss has decided to give you a house to live. To give that house to you, will the boss have to pay rent to the owner of the house? So do you understand? Boss will pay rent, you will get the house. Boss will pay rent, you will get the house. Is this expense of the employer towards a third party? And is the third party giving the benefit to the employee? And whatever rent boss is paying, that is your saving. So that is only the taxable perquisite here. This story will have a small twist. When the boss chose a house in this building, boss is paying 20,000 rupees per month. And you are staying in that house. So you are saving 20,000. 20,000 is your perquisite. You tell your boss, sir, you are spending such a good amount. Still, I am not liking this building, sir. Please take a house in this building, sir. Next door building, next same wall building, please. It's a slightly higher floor. I like that. Sir, please. Already you are spending, no? Whatever you are spending is becoming waste because I am not liking. What is the point? Sir, please take this. The problem is that this house is of 25,000. Possible that the house which the employee likes is slightly expensive. What will you as an employer do given that you want to keep your employee happy? You want to keep your employee happy. So first of all, will you take interest in at least having a look at this house? Fantastic. Then you check the budget. Is that expensive? Is that more than your budget? Yes. So as an employer, you will keep one condition before your employee. It is an expensive house. My budget is maximum 20. In 20, you like anything other than this house which I have selected, no problem, I will give full. But if you want to stay in a more expensive house, that also I don't have a problem. But I will give maximum 20. So guess where the extra 5,000 will come from? Because landlord won't give discount just because boss does not have budget. So that remaining 5 you pay from your own pocket. Can you have an understanding like this? For example, I used to go to outstation assignments in a hotel where there, don't compare this with Mumbai ka rates. 3-star to 5-star hotels come in these rates. The class ka budget was 2,000, 2,500, maybe 3-4 star hotel come. In Kochi or Ahmedabad, so very easily 2,500. But I still did not like that hotel. My problem is that when I get up from my sleep, in one hand I want my toothbrush and in the other hand I want my teacup. ऐसा नहीं कि I don't gargle with tea, of course. मतलब toothbrush, keep the brush, gargle, and the moment that is over, immediately the tea should go. If there is a gap of 5 minutes between these two events, only 5 minutes between the brush and the tea, so that day don't talk to me. Because no matter who you are, I will not be able to control myself. I am an addict. You understand? Addict, charsy, nashedi, drug addict. For me, it is tea, bro. You just tell me if I do the same thing as Hanumanji. You chai patti nahi pagal. I don't eat pagal. You get high on that? Powder nahi. The liquid tea. So every time you see me drinking something in class, that's tea only. In case you are confused, sir, what stuff did you carry to class? And we have suppliers also in the class. So some hotels did not have that early morning facility that 6 o'clock in the morning we will not give you tea. And for a 7 o'clock lecture, I want tea latest by 6 o'clock. So I decided to go in a more expensive hotel. Hotel ka rate was 5,000. Class owner said I will give maximum 3. So remaining 2 I used to pay. You understand? But then, this everyone understood. Okay, in this example, 20 is the budget of the boss. So who will pay 5,000? Employee. Now, if boss is giving 20, so obviously remaining 5 to the landlord, employee will give. The landlord will get his 25. But your perquisite will be 20 only. Because your benefit is not worth 25. Boss is paying only 20. That 5,000 you are paying from your own pocket. Anything that you pay from your own pocket cannot be your perquisite. Perquisite is whatever boss has paid. And how much boss has paid? 25. Okay, 20. 20. So perquisite will be only 20. You understood this much? Last twist. Just imagine how funny it will look in a hotel room that 3,000 class owner is paying and 2,000 I am paying. Well, this much you take from me, this one. What is the hotel? A labor that he has to go to every person individual. Just imagine the landlord here. What understanding we are having with the landlord? That 20,000 he will pay, 5 I will pay. Matlab every month he has to come to 2 people to ask for money. It can't be like that. So technically or systematically, how will we do it? We will tell the boss to pay him 25. And whenever you pay my salary, pay me 5,000 less. Which means that 5,000 I have paid. Makes sense? Practical effect. Same thing we used to do in that coaching class also. I used to make them pay the entire hotel bill, so that they get their GST benefit, etc. also in their hotel ka name, in their class ka name. But the difference wala amount, they used to adjust against my payment. Now then, in this example, if we come to this, how much has employer paid to the third party? 25,000. 25,000. Which means we are actually making your taxable perquisite 25,000. But there is something wrong in this logically. Why? Because a portion of that 25 I am going to bear as a deduction from my salary. In our example, that amount is 5,000. So finally, logically speaking, the final answer of taxable perquisite is going to be from this amount of, in our example, 25. If I subtract 5,000 and pay tax only on 20,000, will that make sense to you? Because 5,000 I am paying from my pocket by adjustment in my salary. So we will say any amount that is recovered. Employer has made 25,000 payment, but he is going to recover from my salary by employer from any amount that is recovered by employer from employee will be adjusted, and this, ladies and gentlemen, will become your. This is the general rule. Expense of employer minus recovered from employee. Expense of employer minus recovered from employee is the general rule in which all perquisites will get covered. But expense of employer for your benefit. Anything which benefits the organization. Let me summarize it only for you. If benefit is for organization, employer organization, it will never be considered as perquisite. The benefit has to accrue to arise to the employee. Whatever boss will pay is your saving. That is your taxable perquisite. However, in case boss is unwilling to bear the entire amount from his pocket, so a portion of that perquisite he will deduct from your salary. Can we consider that much part as borne by the employee himself? Which means it cannot be your perquisite ka value. So whatever we have taken in the outer column, from that we will subtract the amount recovered and levy tax only on the net figure. Expense of employer minus recovered from employee. Expense of employer minus recovered from employee will be your taxable perquisite only if benefit is obviously for the employee. If organization is benefiting, it is not a perquisite. And one more thing, if you ever get something called a reimbursement, it is always going to be considered as perquisite. For that, you got to first understand the meaning of the word reimbursement. Sir, what do you mean by reimbursement? Any idea, anyone? You submit your bills and against that you get payment. What kind of bill? Give me an example.
So the expenses here.
Example of expense.
For example, if there is an event and उसमें जो भी expenses हुए हैं वो पहले pay करेंगे जो event organize किया है.
एक you're giving your Lions Club का हिसाब हो गया.
Example.
Event. नहीं, use it in the context of employer and employee.
Employer will pay first, he will get the bill, and then he will reimburse to employer.
You have incurred an expense. So as an employee, you have already paid this amount somewhere to someone. Then you submit this bill to your employer, and the employer will repay that money to you on the basis of actual expense incurred, on the basis of actual bills submitted. That is called reimbursement. For example, again, my outstation coaching organizations, the understanding was all expenses will be paid by you. So while on the trip, I used to spend money from my own pocket in the form of the hotel charges also. Initially, I used to pay. Later, they used to repay back as per their budget. So hotel charges or food expenses or your local travel expenses, all the bills I used to accumulate. And at the end of the trip, I used to submit the bills so that they can give me something called reimbursement. Reimbursement of expense. If the expense is incurred for the benefit of the organization, it can't be purchased. Perquisite will arise only if benefit is of the employee. That part is clear. So what kind of reimbursement are we talking about? Supposingly employee has taken admission of children in school, but boss is willing to bear that cost. So you pay the school and then boss will give you the money. That is reimbursement. For example, your boss promises you that if you are unwell, I will bear the hospital expense. So you pay the hospital bill. Then show your bill to your employer and take that money from your employer. That is called reimbursement. And are these reimbursements like school and hospital personal benefits of the employee? They will be perquisite. Now, what is the doubt that I want to clear? In case of reimbursement, if you understand the meaning, between employer and employee, is there flow of money? Yes. And what you have learnt, I have only taught, is that money means allowance. Perquisite will come when employer is paying a third party. If employer is giving you money, then it is not perquisite, it is allowance. And in reimbursement, what is going to happen? There will be money. So our mind will start thinking that it is, but it is not allowance. It is a perquisite. Survive. Please understand. The employer is not paying the employee. The employer is actually paying the third party only. But because the employee has already paid the bill over there, we are reimbursing it. Let me make you understand like this. Your boss has promised that if you are unwell, I will pay the hospital bill. So one day you are unwell. You get admitted to the hospital. Now it is time for discharge. So at discharge time, call your boss. Sir, I am ready for discharge. So please come and pay the bill because you promised. So come to the hospital. Why? To pay the bill. So your employer will remind you that he is the employer. Just in case it is not clear, you are the employee. Don't give me orders. I have promised what? That I will pay money. I didn't promise that I will come there to pay money. You pay, come to office, show me the bill and take the money. I will honor my promise. Now it is appearing like employer is giving money to employee, but actually employer is giving money to hospital. Then why are we giving cash to the employee? Because the employee has already paid the bill to the third party. And therefore, reimbursement is basically indirectly payment to third party, that you are paying third party through employee. We are not giving cash to the employee. We are paying the third party. Reimbursement on the basis of actual expense will always be considered as perquisite. Allowances, no, will generally be on a fixed monthly basis, except your retirement benefits like gratuity pension, something like house rent allowance or medical allowance, or you'll get per month irrespective of expense. But reimbursement you get on the basis of expense, and therefore reimbursements cannot be considered as allowances. Reimbursements will be always treated as perquisite. Boss is paying a third party, you are only acting as an intermediary. And whatever boss has paid to the third party is your perquisite, provided 1. You have received a benefit, and 2. In case he has recovered something from your salary, minus that amount in the taxable value of the perquisite. So what is valuation of taxable perquisite? Expense of employer minus recovered from employee. Expense of employer minus recovered from employee is going to be your, ladies and gentlemen, taxable perquisite. Everyone understood this? 100%. With this perquisite valuation, the general rule that way is over. But unfortunately, there are some perquisites in which we can't directly use this rule. 99% cases you may probably use this rule. But some perquisites you can't use this rule. Let me give you an example. You need sofa at your home. Sofa at home is perquisite. Boss purchases the sofa of 1 lakh rupees and gives the sofa to you. Have you saved 1 lakh? Yes. After 2 months, the boss has taken the sofa back from you. Then 1 lakh can't be your perquisite because you have not used the ownership of the sofa. You have used the benefit only for 2 months. Then we can take only that 2 months ka usage as your perquisite. Cost of sofa can't be perquisite unless and until he is giving you the ownership. That means full cost you have saved. But how to value that usage? Do you understand? I am only explaining the problem. I give you the solution. Let's talk about a house. Boss is giving you a house to live. Is that a perquisite? But that house, he cannot steal from someone. He will have to bring from someone. There are two ways in which he can bring that house. One, he can take the house on rent. So that rent is your perquisite. Please understand, because whatever he is paying, you are saving. But is it possible that he has purchased the house and given you to live? To use your brain, the purchase price of the house cannot be your perquisite. Do you understand? Because house ka ownership he is not giving you. You are only getting to stay in that house. Ownership benefit is different from permission to stay. Perquisite is not ownership of the house. Perquisite is the accommodation that is given. In rented houses, we can still value because rent is revenue expense. You understand capital and revenue? No. In rented houses, we can still take it because rent is revenue expense. Correct hai? But in purchased houses, how to take perquisite? This formula will not work in those cases. And therefore, there are about 14-15 cases of perquisites where you don't have to follow this rule. CBDT has given separate perquisite valuation rule. Section 17 of the Act says pay tax on perquisites. Sir, how to find value of that perquisite? Given in income tax rules by CBDT. General rule is this. But there are special rules. Something similar to tea, coffee, rubber. General rule was fair market value will play double role. Selling price in agriculture, cost price in business. But there were special industries like tea, coffee, rubber, where they give special rule. Similar thing will happen there as well. Do you understand? So we are now going to go and learn valuation of special perquisites. There are about 14-15 that we have to do here. Once we finish these 14-15 points, ladies and gentlemen, I will declare before you end of the chapter income from salary. 14-15. In that also, 3-4 are big. Most are very, very small. The biggest two are house and car. So to average out the work burden, how I approach perquisites is, first I start with one of the biggest, that is house. Then I do some small ones. Then I do a little big one. That's one half of your perquisites. Then I do, like, symmetry, mirror image. A little big one, some very small ones, and last may I do the biggest. So the biggest will be first and last. In between there will be smaller perquisites. All this is irrelevant for me. So whichever order I do, you have to learn and learn from me. Whether you are happy or sad, I have been imposed upon you and you have to tolerate. You have to tolerate. ये बोला ना ये? He said no. You make such an innocent face. Your face is वो बोलते ना कि generic innocence. That by looking at you, no one will find out that there is a devil, Duryodhan inside you. क्या innocence है? Of course, not as much as you. हाँ, तो you have to tolerate. Okay? Sir, कोई option नहीं, कोई option. Maximum option is that, sir, your favorite part of taxation is identity. Generally, I have accepted this as a part of my life that students always like IDT more than DT. Always. Because one, it is easy. Two, it is small. So you understand it better. And human nature is, whoever we understand, we start liking. Whichever subject we understand, we start liking that subject. DT is complicated. And because it is complicated, you don't understand. And because you don't understand, you automatically dislike. You can get rid of me by targeting your marks in IDT. But there are two negative effects of that. One, my students, at least after giving exams, have always told me, sir, whatever be my final result, majority of it is going to be because of DT. And second, we get to prove that once the student comes in final, where DT, IDT are separate, 100 marks. The second negative side will be, today you can decide to stop attending PGBP capital gains. But this PGBP capital gains together will again comprise of 25 marks at CFN. So 30 marks international tax, at 25 marks it is this. Same, CA final may, if you do your smart approach, you know which chapters you have to target, despite being such a vast subject. So if you are finding it difficult to tolerate me, I have given you the way out. Okay? You can't remove me from class. This is a fact. You can remove yourself. And you can't remove me from the same area where I live and you also live. That is also not possible. Okay? Neither can I from there. I also can't remove you. But from the classroom, I can remove you. So like or hate, you have to tolerate some really, really complicated perquisites. Most complicated will be first and last. These are the two perquisites which have highest complications. So to average out the burden, I do one at the beginning, one at the end. Motor car we will do last. First we will do house common sense car. Technical term is rent free, or sometimes we also call it concessional rent. Rent free or concessional rent, furnished or unfurnished, because giving furniture or not giving furniture is optional. Accommodation. There are 4 types of houses which will be covered in one chart. Rent free furnished, rent free unfurnished. Even a 5-year-old will have the common sense to understand that furnished house ka value will be higher than unfurnished house. You have common sense. Samanya bodham. You have common sense. Furnished house value will be higher than unfurnished house. Common sense. And second part will be concessional rent. Furnished, concessional rent, unfurnished. Sir, what is concessional rent? Understand. If boss gives you key and says, go enjoy yourself. Ja Simran ja. Ja chile apni Simran. Go have fun. That's it. Matlab have fun. Matlab use this house. So that is rent free accommodation. With furniture, without furniture, as the case may be. But if the boss says, listen, oh greedy employee, this house, if I let out to someone in the market, I will get 50,000 per month. Do you understand? I am giving you an expensive house. Obviously, as an employer, I have undertaken to give you, so you don't pay me 50, otherwise it won't be a perquisite anymore. But at least 5,000 every month we will have to pay. We have studied that by the name of recovered from employee. So what is the value of the house? 50,000. But because he is charging 5,000 to you, your benefit will reduce to 45,000. Such a perquisite is called concessional rent perquisite. Means what we will do is, we will value the house assuming that he has given it free of cost. If he had given free of cost, so 50,000 would have been my benefit. But he has not given free of cost. Has he charged something? We call this minus the amount which is recovered. So automatically we will get value of concessional house. Concessional house. If it is only this much, it will be rent free. But if it is with this, it will be concession. Is that clear? Okay, one more twist. See if you understand this. This is the value of unfurnished house. Do one thing, add the value of furniture and you will get value of furnished house. You understand? Value of house plus value of furniture is the value of furnished house. So furniture ka value will be done separate. So please understand, there will be one chart that will answer 4 questions. Rent free unfurnished is the main answer. Rent free furnished, take this and add value of furniture. Concessional rent unfurnished means take this value and subtract the recovery, so it will become concessional. And concessional rent furnished means take the value, main value, minus this for concession and add this for furniture. In one chart, all 4 probabilities will be taken care of. What are the 4 permutations? Just check. What are the 4 permutations? 2 into 2, that is rent free furnished, rent free unfurnished, concessional rent furnished, and concessional rent unfurnished. All 4. First of all, you understood the meaning of the possibilities. Furniture means add value of furniture, and recovery is basically value of concession. Subtract your recovery. At the beginning, the chart will give us value of rent free unfurnished accommodation. The chart will start with which valuation? Rent free unfurnished accommodation. I will give you a big chart, multiple possibilities, etc. Whatever be the answer. This is value of rent free unfurnished. Rent free unfurnished. Now do what? Do one thing. Add value of furniture in all the cases here. So you will get value of rent free furnished. Rent free furnished. And then by chance boss is charging something from my salary. Is that much reduced from my value of perquisite? So we subtract something called amount which is recovered. This is concessional rent. If with furniture, then add this line. Without furniture, so remove this line. So initial chart will be for rent free unfurnished. Rent free unfurnished. Everyone is with me? First we will do that valuation. Rent free unfurnished. Then what we will do for furnished and concessional? At least that is clear. Okay. We are going to see whether the employee is a government employee or a non-government employee. Acha, by the way, a little space here I will need for those of you who always parallelly copy. Why I need, I'll tell you. I don't have to write anything over there, but whatever value I get here and here is the value of which house? Rent free unfurnished. Now I have to add value of furniture, so I will have to write, no, for furniture add this much. So for writing only this much I need space for furniture. For concession minus the recovery. So for writing for furniture, for concession, I need little space. Otherwise, main chart is only this much, but little space on the left side for those of you all who are copying, because later what will happen? I will use that space. You won't get that space because you haven't left any space on the left side, and then already you dislike me, you will start disliking me more. So in the words of a true Babu Bhaiya fan, मेरे को बिल्कुल risk, not risk, huh? Just in case you thought I don't know how to pronounce it, I know it's English में called risk, but as Babu Bhaiya says, मेरे को बिल्कुल risk. And by the way, I must tell you that you all must not be knowing Babu Bhaiya. No? Late 80s, there was a Malayalam movie, Ramji Rao Calling. No idea. बोला सर, हम मलयालम सिनेमा भी नहीं देखते. Ramji Rao Calling? Well, Ramji Rao speaking, sorry, not calling. Ramji Rao speaking. अरे वही है बाबा. Hera Fairy of Bollywood is a remake of Ramji Rao speaking. The best of movies actually of Bollywood are actually copies of Malayalam movies. Malayalam cinema made Drishyam and Drishyam 2. Bollywood later only copied. Now, once upon a time when South Indian movies, Tamil, Telugu cinema is completely finishing Bollywood. Believe me, whether it is through Pushpa or whether RRR or KGF or what was that, Bahubali. Telugu cinema has virtually ruined Bollywood. What earlier Hindi cinema used to do was, South ka good movies they used to pick up, then they used to hire comedians as dubbing artists. So South ka superstar is talking in his strong voice, and Bollywood is hiring comedians for that dubbing. So those best South Indian movies actually became comedy movies in Hindi when dubbed in Hindi. Now the South Indians realize the business opportunity here, and they themselves, locally, whoever knows the language, because one big problem in South India is people don't know other than the regional language. Anybody who is good in other languages, Hindi to be specific, so they started hiring such people for dubbing their movies, and they started releasing their movies in multiple languages. Today, a movie like Bahubali is available in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Hindi. I think they have done in Kannada and Marathi also. Marathi, I am not 100% sure, but all South ka languages and Hindi they have done, and they are making more money out of it. So they have started hiring good dubbing artists, and suddenly the cinema ka scene has changed. Today, Bollywood ka biggest of producers are actually begging in front of South Indian movie makers that allow us to enter your movie franchise as a joint venture partner. For example, Karan Johar proposed to Rajamouli sir, the maker of Bahubali, that please make me a partner in Bahubali 2 after they saw the success of Bahubali 1. That I will also invest some money. So whatever are the profits from this movie, let us divide in that ratio. Let us make it, grand. But first attempt, no one will, support. Bollywood especially will not. Again, a big lesson. When you are struggling in life, no, people won't support you. Once you are successful, they will first try to, claim their relation with you, and plus approach you with work. Believe me, there was a time in my life where some of my relatives used to avoid my calls and messages, thinking that he'll probably ask for some loan or some help or something, because my condition was horrible. 2012, 2013, and the first few months of 2014, I have no enemy, to be very honest. Some people dislike me only because at a younger age I have had more progress than them. But I don't consider anybody as my enemy or not even competition, bro. Everyone, is having his or her own fortune. But if I have an enemy, I will not want that enemy to have the time which I faced in 2012, 13 and initial months of 14. It is only after the middle of 2014 where suddenly my days changed, and I have never looked behind after that. So there were relatives who avoided my calls during those 2.5 years. They considered me nothing. I know you still consider me nothing, but that is jokingly. This was on a very serious note. I have forgiven all of them because I am a follower of Jainism, and Jainism teaches forgive and forget, move ahead in life. In fact, Jainism teaches that if you have unknowingly hurt the feelings of even microorganisms, you should apologize to the microorganisms. For any reason, if you have hurt the feelings of anyone, I have not forgotten them. Forgive kiya, not forgotten, because I know whom to ignore now. A lot of them approach, sir, my son wants some academic guidance, sir, my daughter wants some career counseling. I am busy right now. I don't say I will not guide. I am busy right now. Bola, sir, when are you free? Bola, not in this month. Next month I will let you know. Call me once in the next month. Next month I'll answer the call. You didn't answer my call. I'm still not saying one more month. By the end they realize that karma strikes back. Bro, you have disrespected me, that is also not a problem. But anybody who was disrespectful towards my parents, I haven't forgotten them. I will never forgive them. I will never forgive them. It's a matter of time. Same thing is happening in South Indian cinema as well. Initially, people did not support them. People rather made fun of South Indian movies. You see a lot of, Hindi cinema channels like Z Cinema, etc. They show those South Indian movies where the actor is basically looking like a comedian. Lead actor is also looking like a comedian. But with Robot, this culture actually changed when Robot was first time released properly. I know you are so keen, sir. Carry on this story. Ke mas ja raha hai, sir. We do not want to finish any perquisite right now. I know you are liking it all the way. But as I said, I don't want any rakes. Ramji Rao speaking was I don't know how many people here in the classroom are aware. We in Bollywood have classic movies, Hera Fairy and Fair Hera Fairy. They are popular for their memes as much as they are popular for their comedy. And what if I tell you they were only a remake of a South Indian movie, Malayalam movie to be specific? I don't know how many. You're not aware of that. How? You are aware of that? Good. Then very good, in fact. Just because you say yes and I have got no way to cross question you. Nahin, such में. Whatever be the source, मतलब, of course, you won't be saying, sir, I read a book on it. So obviously Instagram पे ही पता होगा. Obviously you can't be claiming, sir, I read it somewhere. I book तो नहीं हो बना होगा इसके ऊपर. So ladies and gentlemen, please make sure at least those who are copying. I want to know how many people actually take down class notes with me, because if it is, maybe I am unnecessarily consuming time in only discussing how to present this chart, not knowing that ultimately no one is writing it. All of you all are waiting for the PDF to be uploaded. So in case anybody is writing, let me know now. Otherwise, henceforth, what I will do is I'll keep on writing, because I know later you will be copying from the PDF. No one writes in classroom. You do. You write everything. Ani, aapka, I am aware. You write before me. You are the one for whom I specifically clarified that leave space. Matlab, you are an exception. What was that Bollywood song? मैं हूँ ही नहीं इस दुनिया. You are separate. I asked other people. How many people? Once again, show of hands, please. So basically, every time presentation, I will clarify that how you should be writing, so that you don't have misrepresentation in your notebooks. For writing small particulars, furniture, concessional, that much space is required for the valuation of house. We are dividing taxpayers into government employee, non-government. Let's see, non-government employee generally may or may not get a house to live. These days, corporate world works on CTC basis. We will give you this much. Total cost that we will incur on you. You want us to give the house? We will deduct everything from your salary only. We won't spend on you more than this much. That is called CTC. You manage everything by yourself. But if they force you to go and work in another city, maybe they will have to give you a house in that city. But government employees, they always get a quarter. Staff quarters only it is. My grandfather used to live in railway quarters. So in Rajasthan, there is a railway station where he used to be head of that railway station. Right outside that railway station, in that village, is railway employee staff quarters. And he was posted in that one particular station. They say he had multiple postings, but that one particular station, major part of his life, in fact, how much ever I understood, because he passed away only when I was only 8 years old. But how much ever I remember, I have seen only that house of my grandfather. Of course, just when he was about to retire, in that same village, he constructed then his own bungalow with his own salary and savings. Because once you retire, you have to vacate that government house. So while he was near retirement, that other house, which is still there, because government house we had to vacate. I still remember that house. In fact, every time we go to that particular railway station, we step out of that railway station and we see this is my childhood house. This is where my grandfather used to live. We even today call it quarter wala house. Which house? Because it is government staff quarters. Quarter wala house does not mean that the whole family used to sit on a Saturday evening and quarter wala. Bro, once it's a Saturday evening, one quarter is in any case not enough. Duryodhan, do you know that when you say yes for this statement, what does that mean? Matlab, on a Saturday evening, you can't give your family one quarter of an hour, only 15 minutes. You have to give your family your full time. One quarter is not enough, is what I meant. Saturday evening is the only time that you spend with your family. Is what I meant. What were you thinking? You're not thinking anything. You have to think about this one. So every government employee is given. RBI quarters, you must be calling it. Now, what do you call it? Staff quarters. Correct? Hai? Private sector may or may not get it. But government employees will always be given house to live. The valuation of this house will be done according to license free house valuation rules laid down made by the central government, and these rules are not a part of income tax law. They are outside income tax. Like there are thousands of rules and regulations. There are separate rules and regulations for. There are thousands of rules and regulations, thousands of rules and regulations, not in income tax. So this is going to be given to you. This is going to be given in the exam. But the only game that institute can play with you here is they can give you two values. That Mr. X, a government employee, got a house from the employer government. The value as per license fee rules is 5 lakh per annum. We need annual perquisite, not monthly. However, the fair market rent is 6 lakh per annum. Answer will be 5 lakh only. The fair market rent will be ignored. Is that clear? Everyone? So for government employee, valuation will be as per license fee house valuation rule. Everyone is clear? And fair market value will be ignored. No, that I will make you write a note. In note 1, I will write it that fair market rent will be ignored. In fact, for all the cases, fair market value of rent will be ignored. So no need to write that reference also. We will be writing notes. But every government employee will get staff quarters. Correct? Hai? And the value will be according to license fee house valuation rules. Everyone is clear on this? But then, can non-government employees sometimes get quarters house to live? On the book, she said, minor shame, sharam plus. You have some shame. Quarter we are doing. Do full. Sometimes they can also get a house to live, and your employer will incur expense. And here we can follow the general rule. What is the general rule? Rent paid by employer to the landlord is savings of the employer. Rent free will be to that only. No, if there is something recovered that we will subtract, no in concessional. So can I say in private sector at least valuation of house is easy. Sir, what is valuation of house in private sector? Rent paid by, but slight twist here also. And the twist is, here there are two possibilities, that the house is owned by the employer or the house is rented by the employer. Out of these two cases, the valuation here is still easy. Sir, what? The rent paid by employer to the owner is your saving, and therefore that is your taxable perquisite and recovery will be separate. It is still easy to value a rented house, but it is not easy to value an own house. Because understand, it is possible that your employer has taken a house on 1 lakh per month rent. That means you have saved 12 lakh rupees. That is your perquisite. But that same house, it is possible boss has purchased for 5 crore. That's his only expense. 5 crore you purchase, then there is no other expense. You don't purchase and then pay rent. And this 5 crore cannot be your taxable perquisite of 1 year. See, rent is revenue expense. So whatever boss has paid pertains to the current year. But this is a lifetime expense. Do you agree with this? So this cannot be perquisite valuation of 1 year. Everyone agrees? Everyone agrees to this statement that here we can value perquisite very easily. In fact, we have already written the value. But here we can't. Because the only cost incurred by the employer is, purchase cost. That can't be perquisite of 1 year unless he's giving you ownership. And there is no other option. Do we still have to value these houses? Think about it. When we have to value these houses and there is no other option, so the only option remaining is, you want to guess? When there are complications in income tax law, to remove complications, We will follow something called a notional basis valuation. Because there is no other option. Notional basis. Random valuation. No logic, but will solve the problem. And the only logic is it is solving the problem. And second feature of notional is always that it is going to be so favorable for the taxpayer that taxpayer will happily pay tax on this. I once again make you understand. In a rented house, the rent paid can be annual perquisite. Because next year you have to again pay revenue expense. But in a purchased house, the purchase price paid cannot be annual perquisite. So what will we do? We will follow notional basis. So government employee valuation will be as per license fee, not given in income tax, will be given in the question. But private sector, rented house, rent paid. Owned house, how are we going to value? Notional. You will have to go and see population of the place of ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Once again, the house, not the place of office. Same as house rent allowance. That the place where your house is located, what is the population of that place? You understand? Population will decide value of your house. If the population of that place is more than 40 lakh, then the value of your house will be 10% of your salary. We believe that in these big cities, you will have to spend at least 10% of your salary for your housing, but you are not going to spend because your boss is giving. So the annual perquisite value will be 10% of your salary. If the population of that place is between 40 lakh and 15 lakh, means greater than 15 lakh but not more than 40 lakh, then we will reduce the valuation. It's a medium city. In mid cities, your expense will be 7.5% of your salary. And if the population is up to 15 lakh, 5% of your salary. Of course, salary has to be explained. And note, sir, why note 2? Note 1 will be ignore fair market value always. So population of the city of the house 0 to 15 lakh, then 5%. More than 15 to 40 lakh, 7.5%, and more than 40 lakh, 10% of your salary. We will write the period and components. There is no other option. You have to assume that on the basis of population I will spend. And in the exam, if they ask a question on this, either they will give you the population figure, then so you know 10, 7.5 or 5, or they will give you a very, very obvious case. They will give you Mumbai. You think population of Mumbai is more than 40 lakhs? Yes. Bro, go to the other station right now and start counting people over there on the bridge. Don't count the people on the stairs. Only the bridge. You will get 40 lakh on the other station. Don't count the people in the flower market outside the other station. That will be another 40 lakh. Whole of Mumbai comes to the other at least once in a day. The other is like, you take the blessing and then go wherever you want. The other is like the father. Everyone agrees, no? Mumbai has got 3 railway lines, Central Line, Western Line, Harbour Line. They all accumulate at. Harbour does not, I think. Harbour comes at Matu. My Kurla, don't talk about wallet. Kurla mein you have to check wallet, bro, even if you take the name. If you take the name of Kurla, first you have to verify whether your wallet is still in your pocket. They'll give you obvious cases. 0 to 15, 5%, more than 15, 7.5%, and more than 40, 10%. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be value of purchase house. So, 3 houses. Government employees license fee rules. Non-government owned will be based on population, and rented will be rent paid by the employer. This is notional basis because there was no other option. This is in any case very low that we will readily pay tax. But in that rented wala case, there will now be a slight twist. This is rent paid by employer to owner. This makes sense, no? Because whatever is the annual rent. But now they add a twist here. Or 10% of your salary, whichever is lower. Till now, we were taking only this. Acha, owned houses, notional wala part is clear. Let's focus on rented houses. Rented house ka valuation is Rent paid, rent paid, rent paid, rent paid, and that made sense. Suddenly we have added a twist that this value will be restricted to 10% of salary. Now you want to know what is the logic? Answer is what? Rent paid or 10% of salary, whichever is lower. But sir, what is the logic? Logic is simple. If the boss takes on purchase, means owned house, then the highest value in the biggest city is 10%. Then just because the landlord is overcharging, that does not mean I am getting more benefit. Think about it. Landlord suddenly increases the rent by 1 lakh. He's like, take it or leave it. But employee does not want to leave the house and employer does not want to leave the employee. So he is ready to pay that extra. But does that increase your perquisite? You are still living in the same house. In the biggest of cities, we don't take more than 10%. Then in rented house also, we will not take more than 10%. Nothing is bigger than logic. So government employees house valuation, license fee. Non-government employee, if it is taken on rent, then it is easy. Rent paid, but restricted to 10% of salary. And if it is owned, then based on population, 5%, 7.5% or 10% of your salary. This is the value of rent-free unfurnished. Rent-free unfurnished. Now we need more answers. We need answer to furnished. So first observe. I am going to add the value of furniture. In which house? I am adding the value of furniture in this house. Which was this house? Government employee. In this house. Which was this house? Owned by, in private sector and rented. Means, please understand. Furniture ka value I am adding same in all the three cases. Means the only difference is unfurnished, rent free. Furniture ka answer is same in all the three cases. And concessional ka answer also later I will do minus recovery. That is also very easy. But the main difference is rent free, unfurnished. License fee, notional, and rent paid restricted to 10%. This is the value of unfurnished house. Simple, eh? If I give you value of furniture, all you have to do is add that value of furniture. And same thing at all the three places. Add the value of, if you add the value of furniture, you will get rent free furnished house. I have to do what now? Add value of furniture. For furniture, I will take 10% per annum of the original cost of furniture. Is the boss going to buy the sofa, dining table, TV, fridge, AC, washing machine for me? 10% per annum. Per annum, matlab if he is giving full year, then it will be 10%. If he is supposedly giving me only for 6 months, so we will do 10% into 6 by 12. You understand? Per annum. Supposedly it is given only for 2 months. You know, I told you about a sofa taken away in 2 months. So we will take 10% as annual value, but then take 2 by 12 of that. So per annum will be converted into the actual usage. 10% per annum of the original cost or the higher charges of the furniture. 10% of the original cost or the higher charges. Everyone is with me? Now listen to this. I have a question for you. And I will give you about 5 minutes for thinking. Okay? The question is 10% of cost or furniture rental charges. Out of these, we will take whichever is higher or whichever is lower. You understand the question? 10% of cost or higher charges, whichever is higher or whichever is lower. Of course, the rest of it you all have understood. Per annum, we will take it for actual period. If only 6 months, so 6 by 12, 2 by 12 as the case may be. But between these two, which one will be selected? Actual cost ka 10% or higher charges, whichever is higher or lower. I am giving you about 5 minutes to think. No one will talk to each other. Huh? If I see you discussing anything with anyone, no, I will remove you from the classroom. Okay? After 5 minutes, I will take your answer. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So you thought about it? 10% of original cost or higher charge. Bolna mat ke sir, we saw the PDF of your previous batch by logging into the app in the meanwhile. So we know the answer. Itna you did not use your brain also. Okay, sir, last batch mein what you have taught, uske PDF mein we'll find out higher or lower. So what's your final answer? 10% of original cost or higher charges, whichever is lower. You said something. Higher or lower? I will also teach my lesson. Let us go to the next perquisite. We are going to learn perquisite. I will also teach. nahi, I will also talk like that only. Higher or lower? अभी तक तो people were saying something. Between you all want to discuss. Give one answer, please. अरे बोल बोल. Why?
Just like salary, higher treacherous, salary change would be like
हाँ हाँ.
additional cost.
So just like salary can change, so we kept it lower here. So likewise, rental charges of furniture can also change. So we will keep lower here. Fantastic. Anyone else saying lower for one reason or the other? Okay, anyone saying higher? That government should get benefit, no? So if government is doing perquisite valuation for their own benefit, so they will choose whichever is higher. For higher perquisite, higher tax. No? So for taxpayer benefit, it will be whichever is lower. So what's your answer? First you were thinking higher. Now you are thinking lower. Now next what you are going to think? Combo. If I give you the answer here, no one has to say anything. If you have to say something, say it now, then later don't say, sir.
Sir, अगर
एक मिनट, हाँ, someone was saying something in class.
सर अगर वो कंपनी ने पूरे पैसे ऐसे बार दे होंगे तो फिर ओरिजिनल कॉस्ट है, और अगर वो कंपनी इंस्टॉलमेंट्स में अगर
What are you saying? Say it. पागल लोग, you will want to consume poison after I give you the answer. You go to a shop and buy a sofa. So is it your sofa? Then you pay rent of that sofa, है ना? नहीं. You don't pay rent of something you own. My wife does not give my rent to my mom, bro. You don't pay rent of something you own. You have brain. So either the company will buy it or the company will take it on rent. If the company purchases and gives it to you, so this is the answer and we will apportion it on the months given. And if the company takes on rent and gives it to you, then it will be pagal. It will be either owned or rented, no? You can't or you don't. Who are, I want to sell my assets to you because you are crazy. You after buying, you will give me rent also. You don't pay rent of something you own. Oh, pagal log, consume your poison and let me tell you, it cannot be higher or last 10-15 minutes you were thinking, no, what? Whichever is higher or lower. Tight slap I will give you. We were not thinking only. I at least appreciate the honesty. Either it will be owned or it will be rented. Abhi bhi not followed. You understand why I say that you will want to consume poison? Bro, go buy right now. You want recommendation? Which is the best poison? Me, I don't have recommendation also. I don't have experience of, chalo, every day one poison I will try. You deserve the poison. This is the value of rent free furnished house. Now, is it possible that some portion of rent you are bearing? That is called recovery. So, in case it is concessional rent, what are we going to do? Reduce from the above amount any amount that is recovered by employer from employee, and this also we are subtracting in all the three cases. Means furniture ka answer and concession ka answer is same in all the three cases. Difference is unfurnished rent free, which is license fee, notional, and rent paid or 10%, whichever is lower. So if it is last time rent free unfurnished, only this much. Rent free furnished, then this plus this. Concessional rent unfurnished, then first part and this part. And concessional rent furnished means all the three. Understood? Valuation of rent free accommodation. Everyone is clear? Fantastic. Now let's go and do the notes. What was our note 1? the fair market rent is to be always ignored. Fair market rent will be always ignored. You will never see fair market rent. This is slightly illogical, where in income tax law, in house property chapter, they say actual rent or fair market rent, whichever is higher. But in salary, while valuing perquisite, they are ignoring the market. They are only taking actual rent. Very much easy to manipulate it. Tell the landlord to take only certain portion in check. So only that check part of that rent will be considered as value of perquisite, ignoring the market rent. Of course, landlord in income from house property will be paying tax on whichever is higher only, but at least we will have lower perquisite, so we can adjust some part of it in the cash adjustment. They had to be a little consistent. They should have been a little consistent, but there is slight inconsistency here. Problem is that house property is given in Income Tax Act, and perquisite valuation is not given in the Act. It is made by CBDT in the rules. See, section 17 says pay tax on perquisite, but how to value perquisite? All the 15 points, we are in the first point, rent-free accommodation. All the 15 points are valuation of special perquisites. They are all given in rules, not given in the Act. And thus, in the rules, they are saying ignore fair market rent. In fact, it is also observed that in a lot of rental transactions, people pay heavy deposit and then they reduce the rental payment. You understand the setting here? Pay bigger amount in the form of interest-free deposit. On that, the landlord will invest and earn some money. So landlord will recover loss of rent by investing your heavier deposit. This manipulation is happening, and deposit is never going to be considered as income because it is returnable. Hello. So you see often these tax planning strategies, but point is that let these loopholes remain in the law. As long as these loopholes remain, you can do the planning for your clients. If all these loopholes are eliminated, then where will we get the ideas to save tax? And simple, if you don't save tax of people, people will not pay. Any person's measurement of payment to you is what benefit you will bring. If you bring benefit of 100 rupees to a person, that person will be readily, willingly paying you 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Obviously not 110. Simple fixed cost variable cost ka maths is working here. If I bring you benefit of 100, I will happily ask for 50. If you bring me benefit of 100, I will maximum pay you 25. Just in case, if I say 50 and then you say, sir, I am selling your video lectures. So in case you have any such plan, I make it clear right now. You don't expect that you will do supposedly 6,000 ka sales for me. And I will give you what? 8,000. No. You have brains, common sense. Correct? These lectures that we are having right now are also the lectures that are getting recorded. You can sell them to your friends on my behalf. Sir, what about the 194H part? You all know 194H, Google key. Sir, you first sell, no, then we will sit and discuss. Because one thing you all have by now realized, that some of your friends will need better guidance in taxation. In case you are in touch with them, in case you have been asking some questions to them, especially the undergraduate foundation students who are still going to college and have college friends pursuing C, will probably have more clarity on this, because the direct entry graduate students may not be interacting with the CA students. Your probability of CA student interaction is too less. The only CA students you all met was in the classroom itself. So you just find out what is the comfort level of people with taxation. After the recent tax paper of January 25 exam, see, my students are so very happy with the paper. I have interacted with them. क्या बोला वो? Easy था? नहीं, easy नहीं था paper. It was not an easy paper. There were some really tricky adjustments. He found it easy. Bro, it depends on who you done it from. Most students in the country, the reaction was a direct tax for understood. They will pass because of IDT. Direct tax we didn't understand. There is some online coaching portal. I don't remember the name, and even if I do, I won't take the name. What they did was, they, after every exam, are sending their subject faculties outside exam halls to take exit interview of students. I have seen some videos. on Instagram that faculties like news reporters are outside exam hall, student is coming out, कैसा था आपका paper? And everyone, this direct tax faculty, and everyone is saying, sir, direct tax was very difficult. Direct tax was very difficult, sir. I will manage only direct tax faculty is asking these questions. Students are saying direct tax was difficult. And shamelessly they have uploaded that video. ठीक है चलो, if students did not find your subject very easy, so keep that secret with yourself. But I saw that it's some big portal. I saw them uploading that reaction video. Too much of social media is not good. So you don't even know what you want. है ना? So ladies and gentlemen, stay away from social media, because in the top 5 mistakes of CA students, one also is too much of reliance, dependence, and decision making based on social media. First of all, you should stay away. Luckiest and happy. Anybody here who does not have an Instagram account? No Instagram, no use. You all are the luckiest people, the two of you. You all are the most outdated people also, but the luckiest people. Because you are not getting influenced by things that should not be affecting you. Plus the wastage of time. Wastage of time. Like if you were to take my opinion, your mobile data or Wi-Fi should be off at all, not when the lecture is going on. Sir, you said Wi-Fi off. Okay, off. Other than that online lecture that you are watching, off at all times. There is no message on WhatsApp which is important. Mark this statement. WhatsApp message can never be an important message. If there is an important message, that person will call you, and you are not a doctor. So you can never be of any use in you are of no use for anything. So how can you be of use in emergency? You are in general of no use to anyone. Mobile data, Wi-Fi off at all time. Preferably mobile only. 1 hour per day. Switch on your mobile. Put the mobile data on. Leave the phone aside for 2-3 minutes, because the moment you put it on, let that music go on for 2-3 minutes. Once that stops, all the messages have come. Put all your groups in archive. Only important chats. Supposingly I have sent any broadcast message, that chat, your classes ka group chat, that is the only text that you will read. Let the other messages remain unread at any given point of time. Believe me, I have more than 200, 150, 200, 300 plus chats unopened, and more than 2000 unread messages at any given point of time, and none of them have any urgent work, because if they do, they will call. If you can bring this much self-control now, it will change your marks. In one of my recent batches, there was a student. What self-control, bro? What self-control? I used to send messages in the class ka group, and I used to also check which are the students to whom it is getting delivered instantly, because their mobile data is on. And out of them, there are at least 5-10 students forget delivered and read. 1 second mein read. So you are waiting for that only. I literally used to scream at those students, and most of them did not. And there is this another student. The message used to get delivered only after 20 hours, 24 hours in her allotted time of that 1 hour per day. Like no one, I believe, has rigidly followed my instruction like this. And 71 marks she got in taxation. I always tell her that you are an inspiration for me also. An inspiration for me. I am someone whom people come and say that, sir, I take inspiration from you. Thousands plus, whenever I tell people that from middle class, from nothing to everything, South Mumbai middle class is a big pain altogether. How to survive in that expensive area with less income, and how to manage. But people say that, sir, we see an inspiration in you. But I often tell her that you are my inspiration, because this much self-control I also don't have at this age and experience and maturity level. My mobile data is on, just that I don't check. If I start checking, so every second there will be one message. And 71 marks in front of you, nothing to hide them. हो गया पंचायत. All these people are interested in is not what I am trying to make you understand, but the moment I give the mark, they are like, हाँ चलो 70s वाला book पे है तो go and check who it is. हो गया, done, happy. And now focus on काम धंधा. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please make sure that if they give you market rental value, you ignore. They will give it to you to confuse. And especially in house property, it is a confusing thing that we consider market rent, but here we don't consider market rent. Fair market rent will be absolutely irrelevant. Valuation will be license fee, notional, and rent paid or 10%, whichever is lower. Is this clear? Second, what was our note number 2? Meaning of salary. Every time we write salary, we need two things. One, period, and two, components. Period will be that period for which house was provided by the employer on due basis, ignoring any arrears or advance. Ignoring any arrears or advance salary. That period for which house was provided on due basis, ignoring any arrears, ignoring any advance. We've seen this before. Sir, where? House rent allowance. The period for which you pay rent. Now here you understand. If your boss has given you the house for the full year, so you will take 10%, 7.5% or 5% of salary of the full year. But if the boss gives you house only for 6 months, so you will take 10% of salary of those 6 months, not any 6 months. Same as each other. If it is April to September, then April to September ka salary you take and 10%. If it was alternate months, then you take it like this. Do you understand? Supposingly your boss has given you any advance salary for next year. Will it come in income from salary computation? Yes. Due or received, whichever is earlier. But in this perquisite valuation, difference you understand? Will it come in income from salary? Yes. Will it come in this perquisite valuation? Income from salary is due or received, whichever is earlier. But perquisite valuation will be due salary of that period when you are using the house. Full year, then full year ka salary on due basis. It is possible some salary of this year you receive last year, some salary of next year you receive in this year. That receipt can be in any form. Due salary of this period, we will apply 10% on due basis. Exactly same thing that we also took in HRA for rent purposes. Correct? Hai? And as far as components are concerned, whenever income tax law has to give components, 9 out of 10 cases it will give you 3 components. What 3 components? Basic, DA in terms, fixed percentage commission on turnover. Ye correct hai? But is there a 10th case where they divert from that rule? This is that case where they have given a very, very complicated list of components. In the other cases, all the places where we saw definition of salary, they followed an inclusive approach that you receive many things from your employer. Basic, 2 types of DA, medical allowance, tiffin allowance, project allowance, bonus, uniform allowance, hundreds of things. You will take what? Only 3 and ignore the rest. Here, they have said take all components. Means will you take basic? DA in terms. DA not in terms. Of which period? That we have already answered. House provided. For how much time? Full year. Then full year basic DA in terms, DA not in terms. House provided for 6 months. Then those 6 months. This part is clear. No? Now that we know the period, in that period, what are the things that we will take? The answer is, look at it. Look at it. It is in front of you. The answer is what? All components. So fast. Basic, DA in terms, DA not in terms, project allowance, bonus allowance, tiffin allowance, everything except the following. So here they are following an excluding approach. Remove these things, everything else you will take. What? Remove any DA which is not in terms. So which DA you will take? Only DA which is in terms. Means everywhere else take 3, ignore all. And here they have said ignore these 3, 4 and take everything else. So first thing that you have to ignore is any DA which is not in terms. Second, any exempt allowance. Most allowances, lot of allowances, the amount that you receive comes in the inner column. Now in all components, this will also come. Whether it is your uniform allowance or true travel transfer allowance or children education allowance, hostel allowance, all your allowances will come. But are we aware that sometimes a portion of this is exempt and we take only the taxable part in the outer column? So this part is basically trying to say that you have to take this component in all components that you are taking. In those allowances where there is an exemption, you don't have to take the full amount. You have to take the taxable amount. And what is the difference between received and taxable? To remove the exempt part. Supposingly you receive 10 lakh, but 8 lakh is exempt. Now allowance is 10 lakh, but we will take only 2 lakh. So in all components, we are not taking the exempt part. Did you understand this? What components we will take? All components, but the taxable part of it. We will not take the exempt part. Next, we will not be taking perquisites. Do perquisites also come in the total? But we have just started perquisite valuation. So we are only going to take monetary benefits ka 10, 7.5 or 5%. We won't be taking the non-monetary benefit. Now, if we say all components, everything includes perquisite. But in this calculation, we don't have. Are we excluding perquisites? So are perquisites a part of our taxable salary? Yes, they are excluded only in this perquisite calculation. Ye correct? Next. Slightly confusing only if you decide that you want to get confused. Otherwise, it is easy. Employer contribution to RPF. Anyone knows the tax treatment? Just to give you a hint, we write it in the inner column. Why do we write it in the inner column? There is an exemption. How much is the exemption? 12% of salary. So we exclude this, and here we'll get the excess over 12%. Correct? As per this line, in any case, this amount we are not going to take only. If we will take this amount. But that also we don't have to take is the point here. Means this amount we were never going to take. But this also you don't have to take. So RPF related amount you have to remove only altogether. Just like you are not taking DA not in terms. So RPF up to 12% is to exempt only. The taxable part is only beyond 12%. But in this perquisite that also you don't have to take. So employer contribution to RPF in excess of 12%. The taxable part also has to be ignored. Exempt part to ignored only. The taxable part also will be ignored. Did you understand this? To then explain this part. Interest on RPF. How much is exempt already? 9.5. So if at all something is taxable, how much is taxable? The excess over that also you don't have to take. So exempt part you don't only have to take, but the taxable part also you will not be taking. Do you understand? These are the things that you won't take. Other than this, you will be taking all components. So very quickly. And all components of what period? The period for which house was given. So basic, DA in terms, DA not in terms, project allowance, tiffin allowance, gratuity the portion which is exempt, gratuity the portion which is taxable, employer contribution to RPF the portion which is exempt. No. Employer contribution to RPF the portion which is taxable. That also no. Interest on RPF the portion which is taxable. Taxable. No. No. Exempt part we don't only have to. Okay. Perquisites. No. Bonus. Fixed medical allowance. Tiffin allowance. Dearness allowance not in terms. In terms. So we understand we have to take everything except these 4-5 things that they have given. Normally we take 3 things, ignore everything else. But here we take everything, ignore only this much. Did you understand the difference? Everyone. That was meaning of salary for the purpose of rent-free accommodation. Next. Any rent-free accommodation which is given to judges of High Court, Supreme Court. Are they handling the highest judiciary bodies of the country? You know that they will be given a house to live. Fantastic. A union minister. Array, union government minister. They get their houses to live. All of them have a house in Delhi. Official residence of Prime Minister of India, I think it is 7 Racecourse Road, Delhi. You know or you don't know? They get house to live, that much you must be aware. Union minister or a leader of opposition in parliament. If you are leader of opposition, you will also be given an official house to live. It's a constitutional post, and as per constitution, you will be given a house to live. And in the best of places, for example, Bombay High Court Chief Justice का bungalow is in Mumbai at a place called Nepean Sea Road, considered as one of the most expensive real estate market of the world. Mumbai to certainly. India, of course, because Mumbai is most expensive. The bungalow of Chief Justice is right next to Deputy Chief Minister bungalow. You understand their value and the value of that house considering the area. Ta-da! Fully exempt. So what is the valuation of taxable perquisite? Nil. Why nil? Fully exempt. Because a good student should ask a question. Sir, in allowances you are teaching exemptions. Sir, in perquisite there is no exemption. There are exemptions. Value is 0. So whatever I will teach you only value of taxable. No exempt part ka valuation we don't have to do. In allowance the problem is the amount is already given. So we have to value the exemption for minusing purposes. But in perquisite, once we know it is exempt, don't value it only. Value only the taxable perquisite. You understood the third note here, rent-free accommodation. Okay, next. If more than one accommodation is given to you, is it possible your boss has given you 2 houses? So obviously, the 2 houses will be 2 perquisites. So you have to pay tax on double perquisite. But the reason is, this is the most important thing here. The reason is, this is being done on account of transfer of the employee from one city to other. On account of transfer, then up to 90 days, only one will be taxable. Thereafter, means after what? After 90 days, both will be taxable. If your employer is giving you one house in Mumbai and you're living in that house with your family, the value of one house and Mumbai, so 10% of salary, that's your taxable purpose. No problem. Suddenly, in the middle of the night, you get a call from your employer that the Delhi ka manager has resigned and I need someone who is extremely trustworthy. I trust you more than anybody else. Is also a big scammer. If you fall for that trick, then you will be the next direct tax professor. I trust you more than anybody else is a big. So you have to immediately assume duties in Delhi. Don't worry. I am sending your ticket on PDF. Your car is booked. That car will pick you up and your house is also ready in Delhi. Tomorrow morning you have to handle the Delhi office. So you are using the house in Delhi because of the most important word here, transfer. That means at one time 2 houses are in your occupation, in your possession. One your family is using in Mumbai, and second you are using the Delhi ka house. So we give you a 90 days window. During these 90 days, in any case, salary we take on the period occupied. These 90 days ka salary, Mumbai also 10%, Delhi also 10%. Pay tax on any one of them. Of course, if it was one 10% and another 7.5%, so we will choose to pay tax on 7.5. We can pay tax on any one of them. After 90 days, both houses will be considered as perquisite. See, basically the law is giving you window to vacate one of the houses in a time of 3 months. That much has to be given to you. Just imagine middle of the night, your boss calls that you have to take your job from Delhi from tomorrow onwards. So what do in the middle of the night? You tell your wife to get up. Hey, get up. We have to move to Delhi. Delhi. Urgency. Delulu, Solulu. Listen. We have to move to Delhi. and tomorrow children will go to school in Delhi. The school portability is going on. No, you need some time. No? We give you time of 90 days. You are occupying two houses, but we tax only one. When we say tax only one, of course, you have the option. So pay tax on the lower one. Mumbai, Delhi, both 10% does not make any difference. But if it was 110, 7.5, we'll pay tax on 7.5. But from the 91st day, both houses will become taxable. Both houses will become taxable. Understood? We are giving you 90 days ka window of not paying tax on one of the houses only if transfer. Understood? Understood? And the reason behind giving that 90 days, supposingly you are occupying the house in Mumbai with your family. So only one perquisite 10%. One day you go to your boss and you tell your boss, sir, it is not working. Sir, you have given me house, thank you. But the moment I go to that house, sir, I have a wife. So, I'm mentally disturbed, sir. And because I'm mentally disturbed, I'm not able to focus on work. My quality of work is getting affected. I've got no choice, sir. I am such a nice employee, but my quality of work is getting affected because sir, I am having so many issues. Boss says, don't worry. I give you one more house. Let your wife peacefully live in that house. And you go and peacefully live in this other house. Boss is giving you. Not that you take your neighbor's wife with you in that. You take you. The boss wants you to be mentally happy. And mental satisfaction is more important than anything. So if taking your neighbor's wife along is something that gives you mental peace, to take it. Boss is giving you two houses now. So for 90 days only one will be taxable, right? No! Both houses will be taxable from day one because this is not on account of. You understood? Everyone? So 90 days window given for transfer. Last. Is it possible that your employer has given you hotel accommodation? No. Yes. Our house is not ready. He is giving you hotel accommodation. Hotel accommodation cannot be as per this valuation. Bro, you don't in hotel accommodation check sir furnished or unfurnished. Hotel भी unfurnished. अच्छा, you asking doubt on point 4. हाँ, please.
सर अभी एक घर यहाँ पे बॉम्बे में इसका रेंट ज्यादा है.
Restricted to 10%.
हाँ, मतलब 10% पे करना. और अभी समझो दिल्ली में ना कोई ऐसी प्लेस है जिसका रेंट एकदम कम है, 500 पर मंथ, वो भी मैं रेंट पे दे दूँ.
दोनों perquisite है.
हाँ, दोनों पर.
But 90 days pay tax only on one of them. So you have the option to pay tax on the lower one, but only for 3 months. 91st day से
15 days के लिए छोड़ के फिर वापस ले.
क्या?
रेंट पे.
तो total time we are giving you 90 days. No? 15 days you leave, so where you sleep? Delhi में फुटपाथ पे because there is no Salman Khan.
मतलब 90 डेज में मैं वो जो 500 वाला हाउस है ना वो छोड़ दूंगा, रेंट पे लूंगा, फिर छोड़ दूंगा,
तो
फिर 1 मंथ के बाद फिर से लूंगा, तो मतलब कम पे टैक्स पे करना पड़ेगा.
See, 90 days के बाद you are saying you leave that house, then 1 month के बाद again you take. So where do you go in that 1 month? Footpath?
No sir.
So where?
I am staying here, Bombay.
हाँ.
I will not go there. I will not shift in them.
हाँ.
I just need
to show that I have been transferred. You are doing it. Taking a house on rent for in another city for a very low price, and you have the option of paying tax on whichever is lower. So your Mumbai ka value is coming to 10% of your salary, but that city ka rent is too less, and because I have the option of paying tax on whichever is lower, I'll pay tax on that perquisite. You are trying to say that every 3 months you are getting transferred. Is that what you are trying to say?
Yes.
Yes. Your boss has office in all those locations where you are getting transferred every 3 months. See, You say that, sir, I have been transferred. Transferred where? Your boss does not have any office outside Borivali. So how can you be transferred from Mumbai to Delhi? For what exact purpose are you being transferred? See, claim के लिए तो you can claim anything. I claim in front of people that my income is below basic exemption limit. Making a claim and being able to prove it is different. Sir, is cheating allowed? Is cheating allowed? Yes. The crime is getting caught. Not getting caught, no. Getting caught. Getting caught is the crime. See, you and me are having normal discussion with each other, friends. 3 महीने बाद मैं ये बोल दूँ वो, you can say whatever you want to your friend. I know those strong words which you want to say to each other. To your friends, you can say whatever you want. Just imagine you are standing in front of the income tax department officer, that assessing officer, and you're trying to say that, sir, I have been shifted every 3 months to cities where my boss does not have office also. There has to be some rationale behind the claim that you are making. If you are able to prove it, then bro, this is only a tax planning idea that you use for your clients. And use it. Make sure you use it. Clear hai? Hotel accommodation. Hotel cannot be unfurnished. Are you trying to say that it is a hotel but there is no bed, there is no TV? That is not called hotel, bro. Even Dharamshala has sanatorium, Dharamshala, even, bro, these days though, you go to religious places ka Dharamshalas also, they are equipped with all the modern facilities. Their rooms have TVs, ACs, geysers. And during our childhood, when we used to go to religious places during winter, there used to be one water tap for hot water somewhere outside in the corridor, and you had to bring one bucket of hot water during winter. Inside the bathroom, you will get only cold water. Now they have installed geysers. In summer, they have installed ACs. But there are TVs. The facilities, the basic modern facilities, the toilets have jet spray. During our childhood, it was not like that. They are more modern. So, bro, hotels so will be furnished only, no? You understand that furnished accommodation like hotel. And forget about the furniture part. A hotel gives more facility than a house always. In a hotel, you have to collect towel, shampoo, body wash, toothpaste, in-room dining. When your boss is giving you a house, in a house you don't get such facilities. You have common. In a house you can't call someone to bring towel. Who will bring towel? And whom are you calling? My question is, neighbor's wife. What are you saying? Bring towel. Bro, if I start imagining that actually happening, imagine me in a bathroom calling my neighbor's wife. Oh, bro, no. No, bro, wrong zone, bro. Imagination is also a crime. Very bad, very bad. Okay. Chi. You understand, hotel always has better facilities, and therefore the valuation will be. The hotel charge is paid. Are we going to pay hotel charges as an employer? Is that savings of the employee? Or 24% of your salary same as note 2, whichever is lower. Means normally we restrict to 10%, but hotels have more facilities, so valuation also will be higher, 24% of salary. But if this is also due to, is it possible that Delhi mein house was not ready, it was an emergency? So you have been given hotel accommodation, very important, on account of transfer, then this will also not be taxable for 15 days. So house ke liye we are giving you window of 90 days because house means you have to make your family vacate and it requires some time frame. But hotel accommodation we give you window of maximum 15. Both 90 and 15 only due to transfer. If the reason behind that is anything else, then day one it is going to be taxable. Is that clear? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Devyo Sajjano Mitro, that's your perquisite of rent-free accommodation. Simply put, your house perquisite. To understand whether we are able to solve it or not, question number 35, page number 66. Yes, please. Question number 35, page number 66. Mr. R, an employee of DB Real Estate Limited, Mumbai, a private sector company, received the following for previous year 24-25. Basic pay 3 lakhs, bonus 20,000, project allowance 30,000, DA not in terms 2 lakhs, DA in terms 2 lakh 50,000, employer's contribution to RPF 6,000 per month, advance salary 20,000. The company gave him an option either to take a rent-free unfurnished accommodation at Mumbai, for which the company would directly bear the rent of 10,000 per month, or to accept the house rent allowance of 12,000 per month and find out his own accommodation. If he opts for house rent allowance, he will have to pay 9,000 per month for an unfurnished house in Pune. Which of the two options should be selected in order to minimize his tax liability? Understand what is the question. Okay. In the question, your employer is giving you certain fixed amounts and two options for accommodation. We'll talk about those two options. But before we go to those two options, whichever option I select, my basic salary taxable will be 3 lakh in both. My bonus or project allowance or advance salary will be taxable whichever option I choose. Means the tax treatment of this part will not change on the basis of the option chosen. The two options that my employer is giving me, one, we will give you a house to live. That means we won't give you any money. We give you house, you use that house. That will be accommodation facility perquisite. In this total, we will be adding the value of rent-free accommodation to give you your final answer. Option 2, boss will give money, you also spend money. The boss will give you money in the form of HRA, and you spend for rent. So money will come, money will go. See, in the first option, no money coming, no money going, just a house to live. In the second option, money will come in the form of allowance and will be spent in the form of rent. So there will be some amount received minus the amount exempt HRA ka, final amount taxable. That taxable answer will be added in our taxable salary. Now, whatever be this taxable answer, whatever be this taxable answer, this part will remain constant. That means all I have to do is find out what will be the taxable value of this, find out what will be the taxable part, not the received part. Received part is this. What is the taxable part? Between HRA and RFA, wherever I am getting less taxable value is going to answer my question. Because the other payments ka tax treatment will not change on the basis of the option that I have chosen. Do you agree with this? The option that I will choose will only change the taxability of my this or this. Everything else will remain same. So what are the two options that the question has given? Option 1, go for rent-free accommodation. In that case, how much will be taxable value of this perquisite? What are you thinking I want? You understood the question? What is the valuation of perquisite if we go for option of rent-free accommodation? What do you think is the answer? 10,000. Because it is rented by the wrong answer. No, sir. You should be thinking non-government employee rented. Because if it was government employee, we don't have to see rent, license fee valuation. Correct? Now in this, what is the valuation of taxable perquisite? Rent paid. How much is rent paid? 10,000 per month employer will be paying, or 10% of salary, whichever is lower. Basic DA in terms and percentage commission. है ना? No, we take everything except the ones which are excluded. So first amount, basic, are we going to take it? Just mark one by one. Yes. Bonus, are we going to take it? Yes. Project allowance, yes. DA not in terms, no. DA in terms, yes. Employer contribution to RPF, I am not asking about the exempt part, that we don't have to take, but we have to take the taxable part. No, not even the taxable part. Advance salary, sir, will it come in income from salary? Yes, but it won't come in this calculation. So we have to take only 3, 20, 30 and 250. Correct or no? 3 lakh plus 20,000 plus 30,000 plus 2.5 lakh. 6 lakh ka 10%. 60,000. Taxable answer. 60,000 rupees. Arey, whichever is lower, no? So if I choose the first option, what will be my taxable value? 60,000. But if I choose my second option, so I will get HRA. Now in HRA, there will be an amount which is going to be received. Boss will give me how much? 12,000 per month. That's 1,44,000. But I don't have to pay tax on 1,44,000 because from this amount, there is going to be some amount which is going to be exempt under section 1013A. This is also a test of whether you still remember HRA. Least of, sir, what? Actual 1,44,000. Second, 50 or 40? 50 or 40? In Mumbai, na? No. The house that employer is giving, that's in Mumbai. But with the rent money, you will take a house on rent in Pune. So where have you taken the house in this option? Pune. And Pune is not MKDC. Therefore, you will be using 40%. Now, 40% same salary 6 lakh, no? No. Here we will take basic plus DA in terms plus percentage commission, which is not there. So 5.5 lakh ka 40% will give you 2,20,000. And third, rent paid minus 10% of salary. So rent paid is how much? 9,000 you are paying minus 10% of same salary as above, 5.5 lakh. This salary and this salary will be same, no? So that's 1,08,000 minus 55, 53,000. Exemption will be 53 and taxable will be 91,000. So if I choose rent free accommodation, so I will pay tax on 60,000. But if I choose HRA, I will pay tax on 91,000. And accordingly, effectively, and resultingly, ladies and gentlemen, therefore, I will choose option 1, 2. The objective given to me is minimize tax. One more time, I make you understand. Sir, how can one amount decide tax liability? Tax is paid on entity, I know. How can one amount? Bro, what I am trying to make you understand in the beginning of the question is, whatever is the answer of this is the only difference in the two options. Because everything else, whether basic DA in terms, advance salary, their tax treatment is same irrespective of the option that you choose. Correct or no? So ladies and gentlemen, rent-free accommodation, clearly the amount taxable is lower. Correct hai? Fantastic. Now you will tell me, 2 of what? Perquisite. Normally, perquisite will be amount paid by employer to third party for benefit of employee minus recovered. But sometimes special cases of perquisite valuation. If your boss has given you facility of gas, water, electricity, gas, water, electricity. If your boss has given you facility of what, bro? Gas. See, gas is cooking gas. You cook food or what? You eat grass directly from the pet, from the trees? No, just asking. You never trust. I'm asking. You can't trust. No, I'm confirming with you. You eat cooked food. So you need to cook using gas. No, bro. Water. You all drink water only, no? Water. है ना? You all don't have that motto, no? Save water, drink, tea. वो बोला ना? Bro, supplier, that is your competition. If you go in that intoxication, then it will be a competing product for you. Drink tea. You need water and you need electricity. Don't say that you study under candlelight. Candlelight is only meant for dinners. You don't say that you study under agarbatti. Well, Malayalam, what do you call it? Chandana tiri. Kodcha. You don't study under Agarbatti Kala. Who are you, Rajnikant? नहीं. नहीं, they got saved. Recently, it did happen in my CA final batch. First bench का student, and that classroom का height was less. The height of the professor's chair was almost the height of the benches. So quite close distance between that first bench boy and me. I was teaching a chapter charitable trust. So I gave some example like I always do. I gave some Arijit Singh ka example. All the water that he was like. It happened with you also. On whom? Always on you. Both of them, she also. Funniest thing that I have heard in so many months. कोई भी थूकता है मेरे पे. Then what do you do? That boy, and I was like, what the hell is this? Poor guy was. He said sorry at least 250 times. Then he went and got a cloth from the office. He cleaned every drop of water from my laptop because my writing tab etc. was completely wet. Then he gave me them. I said, I have cleaned myself. In any case, now I will have to go and take bath. I can't be so tolerative like you. I don't have so much tolerance level. So he just spread the. I know what nonsense is this. Poor guy, full lecture. Normally he was very talkative, continuous. But that full lecture he did not speak. I said, I will take my revenge. Then he was, poor guy, the soft target for the rest of the batch. And his name was Fahim Khan. I actually convinced him that, see, now there is only one way in which this apology not taken. I made him quit non-veg food. On my face, he said, yes. Abhi, I don't know. He's like, yes, sir, but how will I? Bola, then I am not taking your apology. I don't want your apology. Then he said, don't give me that bad look, that dirty look, sir. This is a democracy. We can do whatever we want. You are allowed to do whatever you want. But when I interact with thousands of students, I can handpick those students where I know that if I will tell this boy or girl something, he or she will blindly listen to me. So in 40,000 students, I have made 2 students quit. The other guy had shifted from Nepal to India. And since birth, he is in India only thereafter. And he said, sir, but at home people eat. I said, you don't eat. You will not eat. And he blindly follows me. I made him quit. Sir, but that is his choice. No? But he has quit by his choice only. Somewhere I was only a force behind it. So I take pride in saying it. Yes, I did it. But I am not forcing you because I know whom to exercise right, whom not to exercise right. But by chance, if you spit water, bro, so what is going to happen? You know the consequence. Make sure that it does not reach me. But the place where you are sitting, your target is that fixed target. So fixed place hai. So bro, electricity. Electricity we all need. Try living without electricity only one day. First of all, if we don't have electricity, we can't be using the project. Laptop can still be used with battery for some time. But there won't be any. Bro, projector. No AC, no fan, no light also. Bro, in that atmosphere, we can maximum dance. We can't study. No light. So all of us will put the torchlight on the phone and wave. Can fix you? Coldplay. Acha, you all are not the Coldplay wala people. You all are the gold flake wala people. Chota. Bro, stop revealing all these publicly. If your boss gives you money, take this money, purchase gas. Take this money, purchase water. Take this money, purchase electricity. That is gas, water, electricity allowance. Tax treatment, please. Tax treatment. Gas allowance, water allowance, electricity allowance. Can he give you allowance? I have told you this before. He can add the word allowance in front of anything and give it to you. Roti, kapda, makan. Ha, that only. All this you remember एकदम properly. मतलब you have decided what to learn, what not to learn. Just imagine what will Akash learn then. Can the boss give you gas allowance, water allowance, electricity allowance? Tax treatment, please. Don't waste time. Fully taxable. If I have not taught you any exemption, means all the allowances, any unheard allowance, fully taxable. But then what is another option? Your boss can give you, take this gas, use it for cooking. He can give you that gas का cylinder. अरे वो रेड कलर का सिलेंडर कम ना, HP गैस, भारत गैस. Your boss can tell you, take this water, take this water, drink. Of course, he won't give you, take this electricity. But he will buy a connection for you where electricity is being supplied by the company. So basically, boss will pay for gas, water, electricity, and you are getting that to consume, no? What is the tax treatment? Simple. Hai. Boss is buying the gas, water, electricity for your consumption. That means boss must be paying something. Whatever boss is paying, that is your saving. Correct or no? But slight twist. Because if that much only was the answer, amount paid minus amount recovered, then it will go in general rule. If we are making special rule, means it does not fall in general rule. There is a slight twist. These things, the boss can purchase and give you. Buy gas from the gas company, buy water from water company, electricity from electricity company. Or the boss can also be a manufacturer of this product. Is it possible that Bharat Gas or HP Gas is giving free or concessional cylinders to its employees? Then you don't have this. Then you have this. Likewise, Bisleri or a Parle product. Bisleri, I don't know whether you are aware. Bisleri is a product of Parle, or Kinley is a product of Coca-Cola. So they are giving free water to their employees. They are not purchasing it. Is it possible that Reliance Power or Tata Power or Adani Power are giving free electricity supply to their employees? So these employers are not buying, they are manufacturing. You understand? So here, what is the cost of the employer? The purchase cost, because we are buying from third party. But here, what will be the cost of the employer? It can't be the purchase cost. Here it is going to be the manufacturing cost. Think about it. Boss is incurring this cost. Thus, you don't have to pay, no? So, boss ka cost is your saving. You understand? So, here this will be the perquisite and here this will be the perquisite. If I remove this part from the perquisite, then this goes in the general rule. Only because we have this part, therefore we have a special rule. Do you understand? Purchase price, of course, minus the amount which is recovered, because it can be free or it can be concessional. That will give you your taxable perquisite. Cost of the employer, purchase or manufacturer. Minus the amount recovered from the employee. Clear hai everyone? Fantastic. Over, huh? I hope you are not thinking, sir, for accommodation you took 2 hours. For this you finished in 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes. Sir, it won't feel bad. It does not have feeling. No, it does not have feeling. I told you, first and last are big. The in-between perquisites are small only. Hello? Huh, okay. Next. Sweeper, gardener, watchman. These are extremely important people of your life. The importance of these people we actually realized during COVID lockdown, when we had to clean our own stuff. Yes or no? No? हैं? अमीर लोग iPhone. She's like, no, no, no. At that time also you had 3, 4 extra house helps. तो कोविड लोग तो क्या you used to eat in that same plate every day without washing it? अच्छा, normally also you do it that way. Oh, I don't normally. In COVID, I realized that if you are sweeping the floor, you have to walk front ways. But you are mopping the floor, so you have to walk back. Sweeping is front and mopping is ये experience. But then us moment है bro, us moment, because without COVID also I am a married man, so normally be I have to do it. Of course, I am not the watchman of my building normally also. But believe me, these people are extremely important. When Modi ji said that we have to stand in our balcony, stand near our windows and clap, it was for them. If they were not there, things would have been really, really very, very difficult. Not during COVID, in your daily life. Just imagine your society without watchmen. Every society does not have Abdul shop for security, no? Are Abdul soda shop? No. Normal shop, no shop. Every society will require this. You'll need daily cleaning. If you have a garden, you will have to take care. Regular water, extra part has to be removed. Everything has to be the cleaning of the garden is also required. So you'll need all of them. Your employer will option one. Take this money, hire sweeper in your house. Take this money, hire gardener for your house. Take this money, hire watchman for your house. Sweeper, gardener, watchman, allowance. Fully taxable. But is it possible? Boss gives you a person, take this person. This person will do the sweeping, gardening or security work. Correct hai? Correct hai? So will the boss have to pay something? So whatever is the amount paid by the employer, is that your saving? But of course, from this there will be some amount which may probably be recovered, and this will give you your taxable perk. I would have merged this perquisite with the previous one, but the only problem is that you can't manufacture sweeper, gardener, watchman and supply to your employee. See, gas, water, electricity you can manufacture and give to your employees. Sweeper, gardener, watchman, you don't give to your employees by manufacturing. Bro, even Akash won't do it. Because he has excessive supply. So, what to do with these extra ones? Because in exemption also I can use only 2. Okay, let's do one thing, give some of them to employees. Use. And bro, we are beyond that. You can't buy or sell human beings. We are not living in that slavery wala era. Of course, we do come across a lot of crime shows which show child and woman trafficking. Children, people take away only to sell them for begging, etc. But yeah, legally speaking, you can't buy and sell people. There was a time where the people used to buy and sell slaves, dasi. Kings used to have their slaves. Bro, first of all, there is no king and there is no slave. So we can't be having manufactured sweeper, gardener, watchman, not even purchased. Only their salary has to be paid. Are you clear, bro? Sweeper, gardener, watchman. Fantastic. Next, if your employer is providing you something called free or concessional education facility, obviously the educational facility will be provided to children of employees. Hello, employee is educated, so working here. Just imagine your education is pending and you are an employee. So employee or student, the only person who is employee as well as student is a CA article. You all have not entered that phase of your life, you all don't understand. The worst phase of a CA student's life is articleship with CA final studies. This is not a, not something to scare you, but a reality which you have to be prepared for. The toughest time of your life is going to begin. Our first lecture, I had told you that next few years will be the toughest time of your life, which includes a couple of years maybe after becoming CA also. But 5 years after becoming CA, you will be having the best time of your life. And if this is true, then meet me after 5 years after becoming CA and tell me that, sir, you were wrong. Not possible. Okay. First of all, today's generation kids, meet me after becoming CA. Bro, that day when the batch is over, sir, you are happy in your house, we are happy in our house. So believe me, I am very happy. वो जेंजी है कि सर तुम तुम्हारे घर हम हमारे घर, नो प्रॉब्लम. I am okay and I have to be okay now, bro. Thousands like you have come and gone. Simple है. After your exam gets over, after your batch syllabus gets over, if you are my friend, I am your friend. If you don't know me, I obviously don't know you because thousands like you have come and gone. I don't even remember their faces. Forget the names. But those who are every day in touch with me, I of course remember them. It is as simple as that. I won't keep in touch. I won't. But believe me, if you be in touch, if you take a few steps, then I will take more steps than you. But after batch completion, that my responsibility is over. So, point is that by chance, if you meet me 5 years after clearing your CA exams, and you tell me that, sir, this is not the best time of my life, I am willing to do whatever you tell me. Any punishment you tell me, I will take it. But an advance warning, next few years will be difficult because you are an employee plus a student. The employer will not care about your study, and the study will get affected because of that employer. You have to balance both of them, and one of the most important factor in that is use your 3 years effectively average wise. Don't take more load in the last 1 year, do nothing in the first 1 year. That is where people end up ruining their CA final study altogether. The best time is today, right now. Immediately after your inter exams also, you have to be active with one thing or the other. Immediately, you don't have to take any pause anywhere. Keep doing something because you all are used to being busy, so many hours every day. Don't stop that. You go on a holiday, that is also called being busy only. Go on a holiday, take your break, take a break of 10 days, but when you come back, then don't kill time by doing nothing. Something you have to be doing. So that every day you are doing something, later on you don't have too much pressure on yourself. You are not doing it as a race or as a competition. You are doing it only to reduce your own future burden. So that tough time is going to come very soon, and be happy if that tough time comes, because if it will come, it will go away also. Don't be stuck here just because you are scared of that tough time. You have to pass through it. Clear hai? So your boss is not providing you education facility. Providing whom? Obviously your children. But I want to give you a recap. I don't give you a recap. You give me recap. I have taught you something called children education allowance. Huh? Hey, 2 children. First, what is the exemption? Then 2 children. Maximum 100 per month per child. Maximum 2 children. And what about the hostel part? Correct hai? Allowance part we have already studied. Now here what is happening? Your employer is providing educational facility. Means your employer is conducting that education for you, which can be in 2 ways. Option 1, employer itself is an educational institution. Your schools, colleges have teachers. So the teachers are employees, and the teacher ka children have to study. So they are studying in the same school, same college where they are working without fees. Because employee benefits. So teachers ka children, we will not take fees because they are children of employees. But that is possible only if employer itself is institution. Now, every employer cannot be institution. You can be an employee of A Limited, B Limited, C Limited, D Limited business organization. How will they provide education facility? They will take admission in some school. So employer will secure admission. Means employer will pay the institution, and institution will give you education. So same thing happens. No, employer paying third party and you getting facility. Correct? Two types of perquisite possible. One, employer itself is institution, or employer pays an institution. Correct? Before we go to the valuation of both of them, let me begin by telling you, if your boss is providing you any kind of training or refresher course, that also to yourself, not to your children, to your employees. You as an employee are getting this training. Are you getting some knowledge at the cost of your employer? Why, sir? Why?
Because the employee can work efficiently.
Effectively, same thing. That this training is not being given for your benefit. If this training is given, you will be better at the workplace, which will benefit him. Remember what is perquisite. When you get personal level benefit, it is perquisite. If anything is benefiting him only, it is not your perquisite, and therefore it is going to be fully exempt. But if your children are getting educated, that has nothing to do with the organization. So yes, that is going to be taxable. And how? What are the two possibilities? Possibility one, employer itself is institution, like a school or college not taking fees from children of teachers, which it would have charged to other students. Or option two, employer pays the institution, A limited, B limited, C limited, they are paying what, sir? Your fees. This part is so very easy. Amount paid by employer to the institution, that will be your perquisite. Very easy. Reliance is paying school fees of employee ka children. So whatever Reliance has paid, that is your perquisite, because that is your saving. What does your common sense say? First of all, here you will have to keep a school or college in mind. A school or college is granting admission to whom? Teachers' children. Teachers' husband. क्या बोला? Teachers, what you said? Teacher student. Stop, yaar. Bro, see, you supply only to those who don't go in such zones.
They are already high.
Without your stuff. Don't make such claims. That means there is someone who is supplying better stuff. Employee Bhagwan. Ek minute, cut. Hey, what is my name? Okay. What do I teach? You all are too sincere. Huh? If my teacher would have done this, I would have said, sir, no. Abhi इसी का फेमा. I would have done that. Chal chhod. Okay, focus, please. Educational institution. Keep your school or college in mind. College has teachers. Teachers have children. Children are studying in that same college and not paying fees, which other children will have to pay. Why are these children not paying fees? Because they are children of employees. What is the perquisite of the teacher? See, if the employer is paying to an outside institute, then it becomes very easy amount paid. But here we are not charging you the fees that we are charging to other students. So what will be your perquisite? You understand the question? The instant answer which will come with common sense from inside you is yes, please. Bol. Whatever we charge to other children, which we are not charging you because you are our employee, should be your saving, should be your perquisite. What we charge to others, we are not charging you. That is something that comes with instant common sense. And a lot of people are finding logic in this. Yes, sir. See, if my parent is employee of this institution, then I don't have to pay fees. But if my parent was not employed, then I will have to pay fees. So what is the saving? That fees of other children. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Look what they say. Fees of a similar institution or course in the nearby area. College A, college B. Teacher A, teacher B. This teacher ka child is studying in this college, not paying fees. Correct hai? But this school or college is charging fees to other children. So this is the savings of this child. So this should be the perquisite. No, what is the perquisite? Fees of this college. Sir, your logic was we are not charging fees which we are charging other students. Makes sense. But what is their answer? You will not take fees of this institution. You will take fees of this institution. Fees of similar institution near. Shocking. You know what is their logic in this? It is their belief that this child is studying here only because of this. If the parent was not an employee here, gee, dirty college, who will come here? Then I would have gone here. You understand what is their assumption? That you are studying in this institute only because your parent is resulting in free education. If you had to take paid education, then paid education you will not take here. Paid education you will take here. So your saving is not this fees. Your saving is this. You understood what happened here? You understood what they are thinking? They are thinking simply, if you don't study, if your parent is not an employee in this organization, then you would have studied in some other college, and that fees of that other college is your saving. In the first attempt, you found it totally illogical. But now you feel that no, sir, it is making sense. Bro, that is what CA is all about. It may not make sense to you in the first attempt, but it will make sense to you one fine day. Everyone understood the valuation here? Of course, that means can I say we are getting one value from here and one value from here based on employer institution or third party institution? But this is the value of free education. Is it possible that there is some amount that we are charging? That amount will be amount subtracted, and this will give you your taxable perquisite. Is that clear, everyone? Last line here, they say this taxable amount will also become exempt if it is up to rupees 1000 per month per child. And good news, Akash, here they have not said anything beyond this. So here you can have how many children? Akash, here you can have how many children? As many. But other places you can have how many? As many. Other places exemption you will get only 2. Here exemption you will get as many. You understood? Having is never a restriction. Carry on, Akash. Bro, between leave travel allowance and today also number must have changed. You count every day or no? You keep track or no? Up to 1000 per month will be exempt. So supposingly the net answer, matlab can I say after adjusting recovery, is coming to 800 per month, fully exempt, 900 per month, fully exempt, 1000 per month, fully exempt. But by chance, if it is coming to 1100 per month, that means is it crossing the threshold? Now we have to pay tax. On what amount? There is a fight here. Because there are 2 options. Option 1, pay tax on excess over 1000, which is 100 rupees. Or option 2, pay tax on total 1100. Means if it is up to 1000, it will be fully exempt. More than 1000 will be fully taxable. You understood the fight? The CBDT ka valuation rule is completely silent. CBDT has simply said it is going to be exempt if the total value is up to 1000 per month. But if it is more than 1000, we have to pay tax. That we understood. On what amount, they have not clarified. This actually went and became a court case. And in a case law, this answer was given. So as a CA inter student, honestly speaking, you don't have to learn the case laws. But this answer came in a case law that 1000 per month is not a standard deduction. Therefore, case law ka answer hai, court has said this. The valuation rule is silent on this. If the answer is coming to 1000 per month, it is going to be fully exempt, and if the answer is coming to more than 1000 per month, it is going to be fully taxable. You understood? Everyone, up to 1000 per month fully exempt, more than 1000 per month will be fully taxable. Means if it is 1100 per month, you pay tax on 1100, not on 100. Is that clear, everyone? Apart from that, employer institution, that confusing part, take nearby institution, and paid wala take actual payment minus the amount which is recovered. Clear? Free or concessional educational facility. Hello. Next, perquisite number 5. लोन फेल नहीं रही. Oh, writers, Chico Chino Chibu, you wrote it, no? Heading 9. Loan facility is a perquisite. There is a doubt. In fact, two doubts. Doubt number 1, sir, loan means money and money means allowance. So how can it be perquisite? First doubt. So second doubt, sir, what is the meaning of loan? What is loan? Something that you take and then Monday you have to return, unless you are the malia. Normal people return. If an employer is giving loan of 5 lakh to the employee and that employee is going to return it, no employee can return the full 5 lakh in one go. What will be the maximum? You want to guess? Every month from your salary, sometimes 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 5,000. It's a randomly be adjust from your salary every month, one fine day, until we recover the full 5 lakh from you. Do you understand this? So are you going to return this money? Then how can it be perquisite? Doubt number 1, sir, loan is money. Doubt number 2, sir, that also I will return. It can't be a perquisite only, sir. What are you saying? You understand or no? Answer this. Loan is not the perquisite. The name is interest. भी कोई ऑफर नहीं था. हाँ. हाँ. Concessional interest loan facility. Interest free or concessional interest loan facility. This is the perquisite. Now you understand answers to both questions. First, boss is giving me loan. That is not the perquisite. The perquisite is that the interest is not charged. Supposingly my employer gives me 5 lakh rupees. This 5 lakh if I take from a bank, I will have to pay 16% per annum. This 5 lakh I will have to return. This is not perquisite. My benefit is that 16% which he is not charging, bank will charge. You understand? So both answers done. This is not allowance. This is a perquisite. Because the loan received is not what we are paying tax on. We are paying tax on the interest not charged or charged less than market. Free or concession. And second, loan we have to return. Loan cannot be perquisite. But we are taking 5 lakh and giving 5 lakh. To the bank, maybe we take 5 lakh and return 6 lakh. So that extra 1 lakh I am saving, no. That is my perquisite. You understood what is the perquisite? Not the loan, but the interest. Not charged free or charged less than market rent, then concession. You understand? If bank interest is 16% and boss is giving me loan without any interest, so am I saving full 16%? That's fully my perquisite, interest free perquisite. But alternatively, if my boss is charging me 2% interest, am I still saving 14%? So 16 minus 2, that is minus recovered. I will take perquisite only of 14%. So that will become concessional interest perquisite. Am I still having some savings? So interest free is full market rent and concessional rent is basically market rent minus employer rate. Rent bol raha hu. Sorry, my bad. Interest free is full market rate of interest and concessional interest is market rate of interest minus employer rate of interest. So in one perquisite only both will come. Is that clear? Because when I go to valuation of perquisite, you know my valuation of perquisite is going to be by this formula. Listen to the formula. Tell me if you ever heard this. The value of perquisite here is principal into rate into time. Because that is my perquisite. What is principal into rate into time? Simple interest. That is my perquisite. If free, then market rate will be the perquisite rate. If concessional, then market rate minus whatever employer is charging will be my concessional perquisite rate. Understood? The valuation will be principal rate into time. Understood what is the perquisite in this case? Fantastic. So before we begin, if the loan that your employer is given you, loan that your employer has given you is up to rupees 20,000, or if it is a medical purpose loan of any amount, these two cases, whatever perquisite I get will be fully exempt. Meaning and logic. Everyone with me. If my boss is giving me 10, 15, 20,000 rupees loan, not charging interest, means I am saving some interest, though only on 20,000, but the amount is too less. Think about it. If 16% also, so how much will you save annually? 20,000 into 16% only. That will be hardly 3,200 rupees. On that 3,200 rupees, if we make you pay tax also, what maximum tax we will get? There is an accounting concept called materiality. 20,000 ka loans are such low amount loans. There may be perquisite, but we don't want tax on such small amounts. We will take tax on perquisites where the loans given to employees are more than rupees 20,000. Understood? So the logic behind first exemption is materiality, and the logic behind second exemption, humanity. You are unwell. You don't have money for treatment. Treatment cost is 5 lakh rupees. Boss gives you 5 lakh. Wait! He is not sponsoring the treatment. You have to return. If boss is sponsoring treatment, we later have perquisite number 8. Medical facilities received from employer. When will that come? If he will pay from his pocket. He is not paying from his pocket. He is only giving you money to use. How much he has given you? 5 lakh. Will this 5 lakh be repaid? So some month 40,000, some month 5,000, 10,000. Slowly karke you repay full 5 lakh. But you repay only 5 lakh. You don't give any amount extra. That means your boss has not charged you any interest. Have you saved interest? Because from bank, if you take personal loan, you will have to pay interest. Is that a perquisite? Yes, but we don't want tax. Sir, why? Humanity. Boss is helping you with interest-free loan. We will help you by not taxing it. So two cases, your perquisite won't be taxable. There is perquisite. You are getting some savings, but we will not take any tax on that. Case 1, loan up to rupees 20,000. Case 2, medical purpose loan. Two perquisites will not be taxable. Everyone understood? So fatafat answer whether the perquisite is taxable or not taxable. Medical purpose loan 15,000 rupees. Not taxable. Medical purpose loan 40,000 rupees. 40,000. Not taxable. Why? Medical purpose. Medical purpose. Okay. Medical purpose not taxable. Personal picnic loan 15,000 rupees. Personal. Are personal loan, but less than 20, not taxable. Personal loan of 50,000 rupees. Understood? So medical or up to 20, both cases independent. Any one of them not taxable. In other cases, like personal loan of 50,000, will that be taxable? Not the loan, but the interest. And therefore, what is valuation of taxable perquisite? The valuation of taxable perquisite, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be principal into rate into time. Valuation of taxable perquisite is principal into rate into time. We are going to be doing this calculation on a monthly basis. By the way, we have to pay tax on annual perquisite, but we will find out the perquisite of every month: April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March. Something similar to that one question which we did in HR. Every month ka separate and add all of them. That will give you your annual perquisite. Sir, why we are doing it like that? Please understand. The rate will always be a per annum rate. Abhi, it is possible that your boss has not given you loan for the full year. He gave you for, a part of the year. So then your per annum rate cannot be perquisite. Your perquisite is only for that much time. So calculate perquisite only for those months. And secondly, this becomes fixed if you are doing a monthly calculation. So whatever be my principle, I will apply the annual rate, but then into 1 by 12 because I am at one time calculating perquisite only of 1 month. So in all the calculations, if you don't want confusion, sir, how many months, do one thing, do 1 month at a time. So your period will become fixed. In all valuations, you just have to divide by 12. Abhi down, don't say, nahi, sir, we have to multiply by 1 and divide by 12. One and the same. Hey, pagal. All the perquisites, you just have to divide by 12 to get your answer. Is that clear? One more reason that I'll discuss later. But how are we going to do your perquisite valuation? How are we going to do your perquisite valuation? Monthly basis. So your period will always be 1 by 12. Ye clear hai? Now let's talk about the rate. If boss is giving you the loan free of interest, then entire market interest will become perquisite. But if the boss is charging something, maybe 1%, 2%, so that must be subtract. So one thing I can clearly tell you, that market interest minus employer interest. If it is interest free, so this won't be there. So market interest is full perquisite. And if it is concessional interest, so this will be there. So the difference. But problem now is that in the market, there are a lot of organizations, banks and financial corporations giving you. What is the benchmark? What can you consider as market rate? Because there will be one rate given by ICICI, another rate given by SBI, third rate given by Axis Bank, fourth given by HDFC. Every bank will have a different rate. Which rate will be considered as market rate? They say you will be taking the SBI rate, considering that is the nationalized government owned bank, SBI rate on the first day of the previous year, which in your exam will be, of course, 1/4/24. See, bank interest rates keep on changing during the year, and different banks obviously different rates. You are not going to see whether the employee was going to take loan from which bank, because he has not taken the loan. No boss gave him loan, so he did not take only. So how can we know that which bank he was going to take? How will we compare? So for government perspective, market ka benchmark is SBI, and that also at the beginning of the financial year. So as a CA student, maximum confusion which ICAI can incorporate in your question is, they will give you rate of ICICI, HDFC, Axis Bank, SBI, 5 banks. So what do you take? Average. No, you will take SBI. Okay, wait. They give you SBI at the beginning of the year, end of the year, middle of the year, average rate. First day of the year. SBI rate on the first day is considered as market rate. For example, SBI rate on first day of the year is 11%. So what is assumed that you would have taken loan at 11%. Correct? But your boss gave you loan at 0%. So full 11 is your saving? Interest free. Is it possible boss is charging 2%? So what is your saving? 9%. So simple hai. From this you will subtract the employer rate. Simple. SBI rate minus employer rate. Correct hai? Bro. And common sense says this, that in your question paper they will not give you SBI ka contact number or employer ka contact number. Obviously they are going to be given to you. Goes without saying. Goes without saying. They have to be giving you these rates. Are you bolo yes or no? So yes, SBI rate on the first day of the year minus employer rate, and both of them of course and obviously are going to be given to you. ये correct है? Now let's talk about principal, because rate and time, believe me, are ridiculously easy. Rate part is given and period we take 1 month at a time, so we have to always take 1 by 12, 1 by 12, because rates will always be per annum rates, and if you are doing monthly calculation, so it will always be 1 by 12. What are we going to do as far as our principal is concerned? What or how are we going to take our principal? We will have to take the maximum outstanding balance on the last day of the month. Maximum outstanding balance on the last day of the month. Maximum outstanding balance on the last day of the month is actually also a reason why we are doing monthly calculation. Principal has to be taken on a month-on-month basis. See, supposingly your boss gives you 5 lakh ka loan for full year, then we understand it is a full year ka perquisite on 5 lakh. But is it possible as the year progresses, some portion of the loan you are repaying by adjustment against salary? So as you repay, the principal falls. So you can't be taking the original principal. So as and when you repay, from that month onwards, we will start reducing the principal. So what we will see is full month on any day, if you have made any repayment, then that much amount we will reduce from the principal in this month. Thus we are doing monthly calculation. If there is no repayment, full year will be same only. But if there is repayment, we will be reducing that much from the principal. Sir, understand how? Understand what? Supposingly beginning of the year you take loan of 5 lakh. SBI rate is 16%, boss is charging 1%. So middle wala factor is 15. That is fixed month on month, so 1 by 2. So what is your principal for April? 5 lakh. No problem. In May you will get April ka salary. When the boss was giving you salary, say on 10th May, you said, sir, adjust 10,000 so that dire slowly I repay. Now from 5 lakh you have repaid 10,000. You can repay in cash or minus from salary, one and the same. But now in May we can't take 5 lakh principal. So now in May we will take 4 lakh 90. You are understanding the explanation? So everyone with me. April the principal was 5 lakh, but we repaid 10,000 on 10th May. So in May we will take principal of 4.9. Now in June you will get May ka salary. On 15th June that salary was given. In that you adjust 15,000. So for June we will take 4.75. On 21st July you repay another 10,000. So on 31st July what will you take? 4.65. You are understanding? As we are repaying, we are minusing the principal. So what is the principal of July? 4,65,000 as we are repaying. Next, on 31st August, I repaid another 15,000 rupees. So in August, what principal I will take? 4 lakh? No! 4.65. Understand this word. Bro, this is the explanation. If it was not for this one word, I would have said every month minus the repayment and take the balance. If it was only this month, just imagine outstanding balance on the last day. Maximum outstanding. Everyone with me on 31st August. Everyone with me. When 31st August started, early morning, what was the outstanding? 4.65. Morning mein what was the outstanding? 4.6. During the day, repayment of 15. So evening mein what was the outstanding? 4.5, as some of you all said. But during that last day, what is the maximum outstanding? 465. That means this payment will not be adjusted in August, a principal. Logic, bro. Please understand why we cannot and we will not adjust. This 15,000 you have repaid on 31st August. That means full August, this money you have used. So in August principal, this should come, no? If you have repaid on the last day, means full month money was with you. So this month it is a perquisite. So basically, this one word simply means you have to Ignore repayment of last day. Ignore last day repayment. And logic is clear. Why, sir? Because in any case, full month you have used that money. So finally, what is your principal for August? 465. You are not going to consider this because it was repaid on the last day. Correct? Hai? In September, there is no repayment. No repayment in September. No repayment. That means September ka principal will remain. No! This time why 4.5? Because this 15 that you have ignored, there it was last day. But here though from the beginning of September it is not there in the principal. No. You understood? So next month we will be adjusting. See, we ignored it in August because it was repaid on the last day. But in September it is repaid before the month started. And therefore in September 450. Everyone understood? So why are we doing monthly calculation of perquisite? Not because of 1 by 12, believe me, but because principal has to be taken on the basis of repayment in that month. So start with principal at the beginning of the month. Check during the month if there is any repayment. Ignoring. You stop getting scared only. Get scared. Ignoring last day ka repayment. Full day, full month mein if there is any repayment, minus that ignoring last day ka repayment. That will give you principal of that month. Ignore last day repayment, minus all other repayments. Principal on a month-on-month basis. Rate is to fixed from the beginning. SBI rate on first day minus employer rate. And because you are doing on month-on-month basis, keep on dividing by 12 to get your monthly perquisite. Everyone understood this? Principal into rate into time is your perquisite. Everyone clear? Mid of the month if you make payment, so on the last day of the month, that is repaid, no? 29 ko you repay, you still minus. Only last day ka repayment will be ignored. 1 day before the last day you pay. Understood? Now don't say, sir, first ko I take it back. Idea. Actually, people do that. Repay on 29th. So this month it will be reduced from perquisite. And then take it back from the employer on first. Employer should be accommodative. If employer is willing to do this adjustment, which he won't unless and until you pass on some benefit in cash. If employer is willing, yes, there are people who do that. Clear? Understood, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, one good news, one bad news. I will give you good news. No, my wish. This is the end of this explanation. But the bad news is, this was part 1 of interest-free loan perquisite. There is a more complicated part 2. Part 1 is over. Part 2 is still remaining, which is more complicated. But before we go to part 2, we will first solve a question on part 1. Question number 43. Question number 43 on page number 68. In that also we will do only part A, because part A is on part 1 of loan perquisite. Part B we won't be able to do now. Part 2 is on part B is on part 2. We will do that later. Question 43 part A, please.
Calculate taxable perquisite value. Mr. R obtained a housing loan from his employer on 16 December 2023 of 7,20,000 at the rate 3% per annum. He starts repayment of this loan from January 2025 on the first day of each month at 30,000 per month. SBI rate of interest for a similar loan is 10.5% per annum.
Mr. R obtained a housing loan from his employer of 7,20,000. My first question to you is this a taxable perquisite? Is this a taxable perquisite? Yes. Why do you say so? Huh? Home loan, non-medical, and more than 20,000. Fantastic. What rate SBI was charging? 10.5. But what is employer rate? So at least we understand one thing, that the benefit is 7.5%. And month on month. So see, rate done 7.5. period done. We have to focus only on principal. Original loan was 7 lakh 20. Initially 720, but of course later on he started repaying 30, 30, 30. And if the repayment is happening on first day, so will we subtract that 30 from that month? Yes, we don't subtract only if it is last day. So as the repayment starts from the month of January, so from that month onwards, we will start reducing 30, 30 every month in the principal. How are we going to present this? See, understand. Valuation of taxable perquisite, where taxable perquisite is nothing but the interest saved, correct or no? We are going to do the calculation on a month-on-month basis. In every month, we have to go and identify principal, which will depend on the repayment that we have done. If we don't repay, we don't minus. If we repay, we minus except last day. Whatever is the principal that we get, we just have to multiply it by 7.5%. Sir, how we got this? 10.5 minus, and we multiply that by 1 by 12. So your total target is just get this column. Once you get this column, just multiply by 7.5%, divide by 12, and keep on doing m plus m plus. Capital budgeting you all have studied. Write the amount, do m plus. Write the amount, do m plus. Finally, you do MRC, so you'll get your total. Everyone is with me? Now comes the most important question. We will be starting the calculation from which month? We will be starting the computation of perquisite from which month? Sir, one thing I must tell you, that perquisite starts only when I take the loan. Huh? Before that, perquisite cannot start. And therefore, perquisite will start from the month of December. Rubbish. Nonsense. Jan. Matlab you start perquisite when you start repaying, otherwise no perquisite. So don't repay only, no perquisite. Bro, once again, if I give you the answer no, you will want to consume poison. You know, just listen to this. See if you know this. Huh? See if you have this knowledge. Listen, huh? Everyone paying attention. See if you have this knowledge. December comes every month. Sorry, my bad. Too much of over dramatization is not good. Sorry. Cut. December comes every year. ये पता है? You're asking, were you aware? Anyone born in December? No one born in December. December. Which date? वो 1971 का वॉर का ट्रीटी वॉज साइन. मूवी है 16 दिसंबर. हाँ यू. अच्छा ये योर बर्थडे का ही लोन. 21st. Just to let you know, legends are born in December. My wife. Me too, of course. So no, you know your birthday comes every year. If this loan was taken in December 2023, December 2023 the loan was taken, and we are doing perquisite of 24-25. That means when this year started, the loan was already taken. Repayment started in January. That means for these months, we have to take full 7 lakh 20. And from January, we will keep on subtracting 30 and stop at March. You understand or no? If the loan was taken in this December, then it is only 4 months perquisite. But this loan was taken in 2023 December. Hello? So we start our perquisite from April. Do you understand? In April, it was fully outstanding only. In fact, May, June, July, August, September, October, November till December, it was 7 lakh 20 only. So, once we know the principal, multiply by 7.5 and into 1 by 12. Perquisite of April, 4,500. And do you understand till December it is same because no repayment? By the way, a shorter way of doing it is, in these 9 months perquisite has not changed. So you could have actually done this as 7 lakh 20,000 into 7.5% into 9 by 12. But then this is only if you are good in maths and arithmetic, and when you know your mathematics skill, So you better do it on a month-on-month basis. You might take some extra time, but you won't go wrong. So do you realize this is 4,500 into 9? 40,500. And now let's go to the other months one at a time. January, what will be the principal? 6,90,000 because you've repaid on 1st. February 6,60,000 and March 6,30,000. Correct hai everyone? I want the final answer of your taxable perquisites. Hmm. 14 years, bro. And no amendment in interest perquisite in 14 years. Please don't tell this to auntie. That auntie, it is same every year. 14 years, no change. Same answer, year after year, batch after batch. I have graying of hair almost now, doing this last 1.5 decade. It can't be anything else, but you still verify for yourself. Happy and satisfied, everyone? Okay, you all have a lecture after me? You all don't have class after me? So, two options. If we take break, then we take extra 15 minutes. If we don't take break, then we leave at 4.
No break.
Everyone has equal right to speak. Huh? See, so I believe that class is divided. Louder volume wins this bet. Okay? You understood the two options? This is how parliament voting takes place in our country. Huh? Everyone? And online people have to also participate. Huh? Aisa nahi that I am fair to everyone. Everyone is equal. So, those who say break, of course, break means extra 15 minutes, will now unmute themselves and loudly scream, break. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, story over. Part 2. Interest perquisite. No, I am not giving the second option now. If someone would have said break, then second option had sense. No, now no one said only break. So everyone has this only, can no break and finish at 4. No problem. You never know that, sir, no break and 4:15 was my third option. And समझ ऐसा करोगे हमारे साथ? हाँ. ए, who are you? जयकांत शिकरे? चीटिंग करता है. हाँ. 6 बजे तक लू. So, listen. Part 2 of हाँ. Of course. Doubt solving is a clear facility given to every online offline student. The only people who don't get doubt solving facility is who are watching subscription based videos on YouTube, or who are only watching some of the free videos on YouTube. I can't be answering doubts of those. Classroom students have full right to ask doubts. And of course, people will thank him because, sir, it is him because of whom we have a break also still 4 o'clock. Because I am answering his doubt, so it is your break, no? Huh? Better. Yes, please. Hmm. Yeah. Go ahead. So, listen, yearly basis, so total will be 12,000. So, up to 1,000 will be exempt and more than that will be fully taxable. More than 12,000 will be fully taxable. Of course. It depends on whether the institution is charging monthly fees or annual fees. Okay, fantastic. So break over. Part 2 of interest-free or concessional interest loan facility. Your employer gave you a medical purpose loan. Example rupees 5 lakh. Is that more than 20,000? So taxable perquisite? Not taxable. Sir, why? Medical. So one thing we all understand that it won't be a taxable perquisite. Everyone? You are slowly and gradually repaying money from this 5 lakh. Remember, it's a loan, so you have to repay. Some month 10,000, 20,000, 15,000, whatever that month your pocket is allowing. So you have repaid till now 1.5 lakh. So how much is still outstanding? The balance? Arey bro, what are you thinking of? The 5 lakh, may say if you've repaid 1.5, so what is the outstanding? 3.5 lakh, everyone? Which also you are going to repay slowly and gradually by getting it deducted from your salary each month, different amounts. One day you will repay 5 lakh and it will become 0. You are not paying any interest, but that perquisite is not taxable because medical purpose. This was going on smoothly. But suddenly, on this date, one event took place in the life of this employee. Whenever we have medical expenses, initially we need to pay the hospital bill. But once we get discharged from the hospital, we submit all our documents, including our discharge slip and hospital bills, to the medical insurance company. And one fine day, the medical insurance company gives us money, which we call it as Mediclaim receipt. You are aware of this? So when I had to pay hospital bill of 5 lakh, I did not have money. Whose money I used? Employer ka money. Employer ka money I paid bill. After paying bill, I take discharge and give all the documents to medical insurance company. The company will process my claim. One day after processing, I will get my claim money. One thing understand, full expense will never be received. There will always be certain deductions. So again, we are taking an example. We have received Mediclaim, 2 examples. Example 1, I have received medical claim of 3 lakh, means out of 5 lakh ka bill, company has processed only 3 lakh. 2 lakh they have not given. Or option 2, I have received 4 lakh. Is it possible? 2 different amounts received. But I have received money from medical insurance company in respect of this bill. Normally, if I get admitted in hospital, I pay my bill. So when I come back from the hospital and I get my claim money, I keep that money. But this time, I did not pay the hospital bill. The hospital bill was paid by my employer because I did not have money. But now I have money. Shit. Sorry, I won't do it again. Sorry. आया हश नहीं अभी नहीं प्लीज सिट हियर नो वन डे यार प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट टू हिट यू और क्या भाई व्हाट एल्स डू क्या व्हाट काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन वाज दैट प्लीज टुमारो प्लीज हाँ व्हाट इज योर ड्यूटी to repay this money to your employer because this claim money is not your money. Whose money is this? Employer. Because who paid the bill? Employer. It is your duty to repay this. It is your duty. The moment you get your claim, it is your duty to repay to your employer because he is the one who paid. Now these 2 different examples will help you to learn something. What is the amount that is still outstanding towards my employer? 3.5 lakh. Everyone agrees? I have to pay my employer how much? 3.5 lakh. Everyone agrees? I have received claim of only 3 lakh. I won't be able to pay 3.5 right now. Right now I can pay maximum 3 lakh. There is still 50 payable, which I will pay small amounts like I was doing earlier from my salary. But instant repayment can be maximum 3 lakh. Sir, how? 3 lakh is received and outstanding is 3.5. The maximum I will be able to pay 3. Let's talk about this case. How much is outstanding still payable? 3.5. But claim I have received of 4 lakh. When I receive 4 lakh, obviously I will repay maximum 3.5 because 1.5 from my pocket I have repaid. So that is my money. Boss ka money is maximum 3.5, which this is sufficient. So I don't have to repay full claim amount of 4 lakh. I have to repay only outstanding amount. Or do you realize the moment I get claim, I have to repay to my boss how much in words? The claim received or the outstanding amount, whichever is lower. I should repay this amount to my employer immediately upon receiving my claim. Does everyone agree and understand? So, ladies and gentlemen, any medical purpose loan instantly or initially is not a taxable purpose. Everyone with me? Your boss gives you money, you pay the hospital bill, not a taxable purpose. Slowly you are repaying, not a taxable purpose. But the moment you get claim, you have big amount, which is not your amount. Employer's amount. Sir, in this employer's amount is how much? That explanation you understood. That full amount may not be employer's amount. This amount is employer's amount. This you repay now. So here the loan will be fully settled. Here partly settled, remaining you can give like you were otherwise giving. Still not a taxable perquisite. If you actually repay, so we will not levy tax on any perquisite. But ladies and gentlemen, if this money is retained by you, that means claim money belongs to whom? Employer. What portion of claim money? Whichever is lower. That money if you keep with yourself, it means you are using your employer money. Everyone agrees? For a non-medical purpose, because that is over, bill is paid. This perquisite, which was earlier exempt, will now become taxable. So medical purpose loan, no perquisite. Claim received and repaid, whichever is lower, no perquisite. But claim if retained will be taxable from which month? From the claim month. So it is possible boss gave you loan in April. You got claim money in November. So repay the money in November. No perquisite. Retain the money in November. So taxable perquisite. Why? Because non-medical purpose. From November, no yaar. Because from November you are utilizing the claim money. You understood? So perquisite which was exempt earlier will become taxable if claim money is retained. Any perquisite which was exempt earlier will now become taxable if the claim money is retained. Makes sense to everyone? 100%? Fantastic. Now the question is how to do valuation. Valuation has to still be same. We'll do on a month-on-month basis. Every month we will be having principal, rate and time. Because we are doing on a month-on-month basis, do you realize once again this part will remain same 1/12. In fact, this part will also remain same. Sir, why? Because SBI rate minus employer rate. The only twist will be in principle. By the way, part 1 also twist was in principle only. First of all, my perquisite will start from which month? Claim month. Boss gave me loan in April, not a perquisite, medical purpose. Claim received in November, not a perquisite. Claim retained will become perquisite from November. What should be the principle of that month? This line will help you to understand. If I get 3 lakh only, then I will be able to repay 3 lakh. So if I retain 3 lakh, then I am using 3 lakh. If I get 4 lakh, I have to repay maximum 3.5. So if I retain that money, so I have to pay tax on only 3.5. Do you understand what is happening here? So effectively, do you realize that the claim received or outstanding balance, whichever is lower, will become principal here. So in case 1, 3 lakh, in case 2, 3.5 lakh. And what about your future months? Because rate and time same hai. Oh bro, congratulations. This will be same as part 1. Say December I have repaid something. So minus that amount. Maybe November I did not repay. I didn't realize that I have to give it to my boss. December I repaid. So December no perquisite. Or I repaid only part of it. So reduce from principal. Repayment will be subtracted if done at any time during the month except last day of the month. So whatever I repay minus reduce. Keep on reducing principal. Everyone clear? That means do you realize this part remains common? Just that we have to restart our closed perquisite or no perquisite becomes taxable perquisite from the month of claim. And how we chose the principal here, everyone understood? Hello. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, that was part 2 of your interest-free or concessional interest loan perquisite, the more complicated part. But everyone is clear? Question number 43, part B.
Mr. A took a loan for medical treatment of his daughter from his employer on 22nd July 24. The loan amount was 5,60,000.
1 minute. Even if the loan is 550, it won't be taxable. Why? Medical purpose. Carry on.
The employer granted the loan free of interest. Mr. A repaid the loan as specified below. 12th September 24, 65,000. 29th October 24, 20,000. 1st December 24, 20,000. 31st March 25, 55,000. On 29th November 24, he received medical compensation from the insurance company of rupees 3,27,000. It was retained by.
Oh, bro, this decides what we are going to do. See, when he took the loan, no perquisite. One by one, he was repaying, no perquisite. Medical compensation received, no perquisite. This word makes your perquisite taxable. From which month? From the month of November. SBI rate is 16 and this is interest free. That means full 16 will be perquisite. So rate and time is sorted. Bro, wait. Principal. You have taken how much loan? 550. And slowly you were repaying. Till the date you got your claim, how much is the outstanding balance? Because right now 550 is not outstanding. You have repaid also, no, some portion. So what is the outstanding balance? You just minus all 4 of them. No! Bro, you minus only these 2. Arre? Till the claim, whatever you have repaid, only that much. No, this is repaid after claim. Hello? Huh. So, ladies and gentlemen, how much are you getting? 465. And what is your claim? 327. So, right now we can repay only 327. If we repay 327, no perquisite. But we have retained and therefore the perquisite will become. Come on, bro. The perquisite will become taxable. Everyone agrees? From which month? November. On principle of 327. Rate 16% and period 1/12. So, ladies and gentlemen, understand. Medical loan, you have to explain, huh? Therefore, not taxable initially. Correct? Outstanding at the time of claim 4,65,000. Claim received 3,27,000. Therefore, duty to repay is what? Whichever is lower, 3,27,000, but retained, and therefore it is going to become now a taxable perquisite. Correct hai? From which month? November. We have to identify the principal, and then once we identify the principal, all we have to do is multiply by 16% and into 1/12. That will give us our perquisite. November ka month. We start with outstanding or claim, whichever is lower. So what will be principal of November? 3,27,000. I am only giving you the principals, then the third column you can complete. December. I have repaid how much? 20,000. So December ka principal will become 3,07,000. January I have not repaid anything. So 3,07,000. February I have not repaid anything. So 3,07,000. But March I have repaid 55,000 and therefore March ka principal will be 2,50,000. No, matlab there is no principal. मार्च का प्रिंसिपल का आंसर गिव नो. रीजन आई एम नॉट आस्किंग. मार्च का प्रिंसिपल का आंसर इज व्हाट? लास्ट डे. तो रीजन नहीं, आंसर 3,07,000. Now reason, repayment on the last day will be ignored. Understood? Fantastic. Rest of it you will be able to do on your own. By the way, little good in maths, so you can do 307 into 16 into 4 by 12 also. So you'll get the total answer of this part and separate answer of this part. But make sure that you don't make numbering mistake, calculation mistake. That's the last thing that we want. 20,733. Everyone understanding? Absolutely clear? Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that was your interest free or concessional interest loan facility. You understood? This stage you can say half perquisites done. One big, few small, and one or two moderately big like education and loan. Now we go in reverse order. Okay, some small, some moderately big, and last maybe we will go to the biggest of all, that is motor car. But for now, 6. Ta-da! 6 of special perquisites. Your employer is giving you some movable assets to use. First understand please, he is only giving it to use. That means after your usage is over, he will take it back. Ownership of these assets is not transferred. So he has given you a sofa or dining table to use. It is still a facility because with your own money, sofa, dining table, you will have to pay. It is still a facility. But wait, he is not gifting it to you. You are not the owner. He is the owner. He'll take it back. Use of movable assets. Meaning understood? Everyone? What is going to be the valuation of the sofa, dining table, etc. that he is giving you? 10% per annum of the original cost. Supposingly boss is buying 1 lakh ka sofa. So what is your annual perquisite? 10,000. But if he is given you only for 6 months, then 5,000. Cost into 10% into number of months given divided by 12. And full year given to full 10%. Correct? Or whichever is, thank you. And now don't say, sir, see, we are so sharp, we gave the answer. Very good. Very good. Appreciated. You are very sharp. You understood it can be only one of them. Sir, does this calculation appear familiar, sir? Kidhar I have seen this, sir. This is same as value of furniture. Think about it. If with house he is giving you sofa, dining table, etc. So this was the value of the sofa, dining table. Supposingly you already have your house. But it is a raw house. It does not have furniture. So boss is saying, sir, you already have a house. What is the point of giving you another house? I am doing one thing, giving you the furniture. Then we are taking only that furniture ka value, 10% of cost or higher charges. See, this is granted for usage. So he can buy and give it to you, or he can take it on rent. If he is buying and giving it, one day he will take it back. If he is taking on rent and giving it, so he has to take it back to give it to the original owner. Because he is giving you only for usage, use of movable asset. And in this also, is it possible he has recovered something? Of course, the balance will be taxable. Correct? 10% of cost or higher charges, only one of them will happen. Minus the amount recovered will give you your amount taxable. Everyone is clear on this? But as a clarification, if your boss has given you for usage means he has not granted you ownership. Ownership lies with him. The following assets: computer, laptop, mobile, landline at home, newspapers, periodicals, all this will be fully exempt. If your boss is giving you these things for use, means he is not making you the owner of the computer mobile, or he is not gifting you the mobile. He is only giving it to use, fully exempt. Why? It's a perquisite. I am getting to use a computer free of cost. It's a perquisite. Why exempt? So you understood the logic of perquisite. It has to be your benefit. If he is giving you a computer, laptop, why? Obviously to watch web series. Nahin. Why? Office use. Mobile phone. I will not even give you example. Mobile to what? Instagram? Nahin. Office work. Landline at home so that you are approachable, traceable, contactable, so that he can assign you work. If he is giving you newspaper, periodical, what will he give you? Stardust magazine. Bollywood magazine. He will give you newspapers, periodicals, which print things relevant to the business of the employer, so that you are updated. So somewhere giving these things result in benefit of his organization. That's not a perquisite. Fully exempt. You understood? Fantastic. Next, understand the difference. Sale of movable assets means your employer is this time not giving it to you for use. He is selling movable asset to you. Means one thing is for sure, that after this transaction, ownership is going to be transferred. One thing is clear, because this was only for usage, so you will have to return. But this is sale. Is that clear? Ownership will be transferred. Second thing, therefore, it has to be a purchased asset by your employer. Bro, you can't sell rented asset. Just imagine you take a house on rent and sell it to someone. See, this he gave it to use, so it can be rented. Once the job is over, he will give it back to the owner. But this, he is making you the owner forever. Is he transferring ownership? So he has to purchase. It can't be rented. So one thing is clear, your ownership will be given to the employer. Second is clear, it has to be owned by the employer, then only ownership can be transferred. It can't be rented here. Third is my doubt. Sir, he is selling me. He is selling it to me. Selling me, nahi. He is selling it to me. That means I am paying. How can it be perquisite? Sir, here I was using free. How can this be perquisite, sir? You can't be saying selling for free. It can't be selling for free, bro. Selling at concessional price. Do you understand? Now, please pay attention. In the previous case, my boss was giving me 1 lakh sofa for usage. So I had to find out the annual benefit of the sofa 10%. Or whichever months I use it, proportionate. Here, my boss is buying sofa for 1 lakh and giving it to me for 10,000 rupees. So now I became the owner of the sofa at a cost of 10,000, which from the market I will have to buy at 1 lakh. So what is the saving? You understand? That means whatever is the purchase cost of employer, bro, or manufacturing cost also, if your boss is manufacturer. So instead of that, you can keep it simple. Whatever is the cost of your employer. For example, 1 lakh ka sofa. And that sofa ka ownership now you are getting. So is that your saving? But of course, if he gives you free of cost, 1 lakh is your benefit. Is it possible that your boss has recovered something from you? For example, 10,000. So obviously, after minusing that, whatever we will get will become taxable purpose. Correct or no? So there is going to be some cost of employer. In our example, sofa of 1 lakh. And he has charged me something, of course, lower than the market price. And you understood difference between previous perquisite and this perquisite. What was previous perquisite? Given for usage. Usage is going to be owned or rented. This has to be owned because he is transferring the ownership. Is clear hai? Perquisite is over. Let's go ahead. Justified font. So I use the tab equally. Nahin. Sir, you will tell me why the gap. Who nahi? Why? Why the gap? Purchase cost or manufacturing cost. हाँ तो बोलो. Why have I left this space? I'm surprised. Some of you apparently are very, very intelligent and instantly identify. So only thing you identified is that I left a gap. There has to be some reason. I hope you know me this much, at least by now. Price, yeah. So 1 lakh and 10,000. Why the gap? 1 lakh minus 10,000, 90 is my benefit. Why the gap? See, because if I give you the answer, no, then your reaction will be, oh, why, port. Last 10 seconds. Offer देना. This is ridiculously easy, does not merit any offer. Okay. If ownership is transferred, otherwise this point is only not attracted, no? This point is coming means this has happened. This 0.7 cannot come without this. Yes. If the asset is acquired and immediately given to the employee, so 1 lakh minus 10,000. But if the boss purchases sofa for 1 lakh, uses it for 1 year, and at the end of 1 year gives it at 10,000, so the value of the sofa on the date of transfer is not 1 lakh. You are not getting 1 lakh asset at 10,000. You have to reduce that 1 lakh. How? By charging depreciation. This depreciation will be for completed year. Supposingly boss is using the sofa for 6 months and giving you. So the value will still be 1 lakh. Only after 1 year is over. Only after 1 year is over. If this asset is computer, laptop or electronic, so we will subtract depreciation at 50% WDV. So 1 lakh ka computer after 1 year will be 50,000. Only after 1 year gets over, not before that. After 2 years will be 25,000 WDV, no? After 3 years, 12,500. If it is motor car, immediately given then 1 lakh. After 1 year given then 80,000, 20% WDV. After 2 years given then 80 minus 20% of 80, 64,000. You understood? And if it is any other asset, then we will take 10% SLM. CBDT has given these three things. This is what you have to learn in this perquisite valuation rule of sale of movable asset. If I remove this part, then cost minus recovered is general rule. Think about it. The depreciation, computer, laptop, electronic, 50% WDV. Motor car, 20% WDV. For each completed year, if part of a year you ignore, no depreciation for that. And other assets, 10% SLM. Do you understand? After subtracting this value, with this depreciation, we will get value on date of transfer. And from that, if we have taken anything from the employee, supposingly we give motor car after 1 year, so 80 minus 10 minus recovered will give you your taxable perquisite. In use of movable asset, this year ka value. But in transfer of asset, we will see the value of the asset on the day when the employee is made the owner of the asset. Understood the depreciation part? And of course, these three rates you will have to learn. Everyone is clear? Two things, two notes. Note 1. Goods manufactured by employer which are sold at concessional prices to employee will be fully exempt. which is why initially I was going to write only purchase cost of the employer, but then if I would have said purchase cost, immediately someone would have been having a doubt, sir, manufacturing cost. So now I make it clear, if you are the manufacturer, then there is no taxable perquisite for the employer. If the sofa manufacturer or the furniture manufacturer or the computer manufacturer gives their own product to their employee at a concessional price, it won't be considered as taxable for the employee. You understood? So only purchased asset is perquisite. Manufactured asset is not perquisite. And purchase asset ka valuation understood? Cost price minus given rate depreciation is the value minus recovery. Anybody wants to try the logic, sir? Why is this exempt? Oh, faster than I expected. If HP is giving its laptop free of cost to employee, the employee will go everywhere and use that. Branding, logo, marketing. And listen, we are not giving free. Ultimately, concession means boss will at least recover the manufacturing cost. She may not charge the selling price to you, but at least cost will charge only, no? And free may they are getting branding. So somewhere giving this concessional goods to their own employees is basically a marketing thing for them. You understood or no? And second, if the asset is other than computer, laptop, electronic or car, and it is sold after 10 years, so it will be fully exempt. Yes, whoever said it right. In any case, the value is 0. Sir, how the value is 0? Because this is a case of 10% SLM, and in SLM it is obviously 10 10 same every year. So in 10 years value is 0. That means, do you realize this value is going to be 0? In any case, we cannot take any tax here. Makes sense to you, everyone? 100%. That was your use of movable asset and sale of movable asset ka two perquisites. Next, now perquisite number 8 is medical facility, but then medical, somewhat like loan, is a little big, and we don't have that much time in today's class that we can actually fully finish medical facility. Sir, bye, thank you. Nahin. Perquisite number 9 is what I am doing at 8. See, whichever order I do, I only have to do it. You've taken admission at 2 places. Just to double check. And just confirming. Nahin na? So, I will decide the order. I am changing the order. In any case, you are not aware of the order also. I am communicating that I am changing the order. So perquisite number 9 becomes for us 8. So tomorrow we start with medical, but right now 8. Gift. Think about it. Your employer is giving you gift over and above your salary. This gift that your employer is giving you can be monetary or kind, non-monetary. Like for example, some organizations give hampers to their employees, welcome hamper, outgoing employees ko hamper, festival occasions pe they send something. If it is money, it is going to be kya? Breakup. Pimp. Bro, you wear and come. Okay. And I have experience of 6 years. I tell you, Huggies is better. No, he will wear child wala only because mentally he is still a child. No? Physically he is equivalent to Qutub Minar, Eiffel Tower, but mentally, if your boss is pampering you with hamper, so how does your boss pamper? By giving you free hamper. Time pass ki dukan. Money, monetary gift, fully taxable. But if your boss is giving you gift in kind, dry fruit ka box they give, some silver ka coin they give, festival occasions. So the law says it is going to be exempt up to rupees 5,000. There is going to be a controversy here similar to what we saw in that education wala part. In this exempt up to rupees 5,000. In that education wala part, exempt up to 1,000 per month. So controversy happened. Up to 1,000 fully exempt. More than 1,000, what amount is taxable? Entire or part? Actually, law is silent. But court case took place, and I told you the judgment is a court judgment when the court said that you will be taking full amount. In this also, CBDT ka wording is similar. So if it is a gift of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 exempt. But if it's a gift of 6,000, they have to pay tax. On 1,000 ke 6,000. Here there is no case law as yet. Please understand. On education facility, someone fought a court case. But that does not mean that law will apply here. There is no court case. The law is even today silent. If the gift ka value is 6,000, non-monetary. So 1,000 is taxable or 6,000, the law is not clear. The law is not clear because there is no case law also. And I know to which CA students react by saying, sir, 12 with it. Exam mein what should we do? I'll tell you what exam mein ICAI does. ICAI says actual minus 5,000 will be taxable. Means if the gift ka value is 6,000, to excess will be taxable. Correct hai? 1,000. Wait. After the answer is over, ICAI gives a note in the suggested answer. However, as the law is not clear, alternate answer is, if any student has said fully taxable and taken full 6,000, answer will accordingly change and we will give marks to all those students also. ICAI gives both answers as alternate answers because they are also aware that the law is not clear. And the probability of a court case happening here is too less. Because just imagine somebody having crores of rupees ka salary. You choose this option or this option, the total difference your answer will make is 5,000. See, in 6,000 also, 1,000 or 6,000. Supposingly gift ka value was 1 lakh. So what are the two answers? 1 lakh or 95? Gift ka value is 10 lakh. So what is your answer? 10 lakh or 995? The two options ka difference will remain 5,000. Then 5,000, no one wants to fight a case. So the employee is like, sir, okay, fully taxable. Take 1,500 extra, take from me, no problem. 30% maybe, difference will be 1,500 only, no? And because nobody is fighting, there is still no clarity about it. So you understood both answers are acceptable by ICAI. That's your perquisite of gift. Everyone clear? Next perquisite. Q. You only said no? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we continue in tomorrow's class.